Oh, my glasses, I guess. How's that look? Nice. Oh boy. God. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna kill me. This has to be arguably my most ambitious project yet. Really quickly, let me go ahead and let me grab the chat. Copy paste. Just a reference. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Probably make it a bit bigger and I'll put it here. I think, yeah. Okay. How about today will be a true it'll be a day. I got my entire Size Matters mug full up to the very top. And I have a backup right here as well. So that's green tea. I should not be drinking that though if I want to lubricate my, because that actually dries you out. Alright. Oh boy. Oh my god. Look at this, guys. There's 890 abilities. Oh, kill me. Oh, kill me. What do I do? What have I done? Oh god, this will be so good. What's in the mug is just water. I'm debating if I should have a like one of these before I start. So I'm gonna get like maybe I should have one of these, but I don't want you guys to be hearing like sounds, which is the problem. So it might be necessary for my throat. We'll see. Anyways, we're gonna okay. So this will be probably the most off-kilter video I've ever done in my life, because I'm actually not going to be doing my usual like Audacity and things like that, you know, kind of like syncing it up, because I think it would just be way too cumbersome for my editor. And I mean, whoever is editing this, I wish you luck, because look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. Okay. For the sake of my editors and my own sanity and my own throat, we are not going to be going super in depth on every single ability, because it's just not tenable. We cannot do this. Otherwise, if I spend, think about it, right? There's approximately 900 abilities in this list of every single champion. So if we were to spend even 5 seconds talking about each individual ability, just 5 seconds, that would amount to 4,500 seconds, or like potentially well over 7 hours. No, that's not 7 hours, is it? No, what? Hang on. Let me just calculate that really quick. No, it would not be, it would be 75 minutes, not 75 hours. Either way, point being, I can't spend too much time on this because there's just so much going on. But we're gonna start, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, not like the YouTube stream, or those of you who are watching on the video, the actual video, I'm ranking every single ability in League of Legends based on how good it is in a vacuum. Granted, a lot of abilities do require contextual, I guess, response, because there are some passives that are specifically designed to be used within accounting for all of the other abilities that are available in that champion. So we have to have a category here which is not applicable, which is for like any ability that if you don't have the Q, W, E, things like that, then it's just functionally not usable. Apart from that, I'm doing this on stream, as you can see from the chat, and I'm gonna go very fast. So I'll be pissing off many people because I cannot explain my thought process, at least for a lot of abilities. But yeah, so here are the tiers. They got Busted, Goated, pretty solid. You'll find out what this category is for in just a minute. Mid, Booty, and then Monkcast. So, oh god, this is gonna be so bad. Alright, so, I think we're gonna go ahead and just get right through it. I don't think there's any other delay that I could do. I could wait for more people to show up on stream, but you know what? You'll get the video. You can watch the full video on YouTube anyway. So let's begin with Aatrox. Aatrox is gonna be here. I'm gonna put his passive here. I'm gonna put his Q in Goated. I'm gonna put his W in here. That's the one everyone wanted to see. Umbral Dash, I'm actually putting in Busted. I say that because this is the only reason Aatrox is as deadly as people say he is. Without this, the rest of his kit doesn't actually matter all that much because it's the fact that he can heal so much. World Ender, I'll say, is probably pretty solid. I don't think it's a good ability, don't get me wrong, but in the context of ultimates, there are better ones out there. This is Ari's passive. Ari's passive is, it's alright. It's not, I wouldn't exactly say it governs too much of her kit, but it's alright to have. Q is also, I'd say, pretty solid, not too bad. W, I would say, is mid. Charm is pretty solid. It's a crowd control, range crowd control ability. It can stop dashes. One of the better ones out there. And then Spear Rush is definitely goated, especially after they added the extension where you can get more charges. Then we have Akali's passive. Akali's passive is going to be, let's just say, again, this is like one of the cases where, how would it apply for non-energy champions or those who don't have the rest of her kit? But I'll say, if that's the case, excuse me, what I might do then is if there's a passive that, or like an ability that needs the context of the rest of the champion's kit, then I will account for it, if that makes sense. Like, I'll just assume that it's rating it based on that champion only. So I'll put it, I'll put it here. Q is, it's pretty good. I might put it here as well. We're obviously putting Twilight Shroud there. Should Again Flip is goated. It can be an escape ability, it could be a gap closer, or both. Perfect Execution is definitely a great ability. Akshan's Dirty Fighting, busted. We're not gonna debate that. Avengerang's mid. There are better ones out there. You can definitely go better. Going Rogue. It's pretty solid, even with the reflector, or not reflector, even with the revive. Alright. I think it's alright. Rogue Swing isn't goated. I think we'll put that there. Comeuppance is definitely booty. It is his worst ability, I would say. Alistar's Triumphant Roar. I think that's what's called. Right? Alright, if you see the screen flickering, by the way, that's because I'm switching tabs. Triumphant Roar, yeah. Triumphant Roar is, it's alright. Could be worse. It's like Ari's Essence Flux or whatever it's called, or Essence Theft. It's just there to help him sustain through the early game. Pulverized, on the other hand, is goated. Really good ability. Headbutt is, I would say, pretty solid. A lot of applications. Trample is going to be mid, I think. Probably mid. And then Unbreaking or what's this called again? Unbreakable Will? Yeah, Unbreakable Will, definitely going to be putting in Busted Tier. Silas Mains love this ultimate. And I think a lot of other champions would too. This is Mbessa's Drakehound Step. Drakehound Step, we all know, is going to be going in Busted. This might be one of the best passes in the game by a large margin. Cutting Sweep and Sundering Slam is going to be goated. We're going to have Repudiation also, I would say. Okay, so people see this ability and they think it's like, you know, the second coming of Jesus, because it's a shield that scales off of a massive AD ratio and it also does damage. But I think if you extract it, it's just worse than Riven's Valor. It just has too high of a cooldown, so I'll put it in pretty solid. Which one is this one again? That's the, I think the Lacerate. I believe that's the name of the ability. Lacerate I'll put in pretty solid. It's not bad. Maybe without the Drakehound Step, it's actually more like here, because if it's just one slash, it doesn't do anything. Then of course, Public Execution, I'm putting in Busted more for the armor penetration and the lifesteal. Not so much for the actual use. The use is good, but it's more for the passive stats you get. First Touch is, I think, goated. I think that you can do a lot with this. Bandage Toss is busted. You get 2 dashes, 2 long range dashes that also have a stun attached to it. You got Despair. Despair's kind of mid. You got Tantrum. Tantrum I will also say pretty mid. Curse of the Sad Mummy is one of the best ultimates in the game for a team fight. You got Rebirth, which is, I'm gonna put in a Monk Cast. I think I'm gonna put in a Monk Cast. Probably, yeah. Flash Frost is gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. It's an AoE stun. You can detonate it, I believe, whenever you want to. I don't remember actually. Can Anivia players use, or can Anivia detonate the Q before it reaches a full distance, or do you have to let it travel the full distance of where you decide to throw it? If it's the former, then it'd be here. If it's the latter, it's here. So you can pre-detonate it, right? Okay. Crystallize is going to be, it's in mid. I think it's mid. Then you have Frostbite. Frostbite's, I would say, outside of Anivia's kit, it's pretty booty because it just doesn't have the double damage. If it had the double damage, then yeah, it'd be really good. Glacial Storm, on the other hand, is a goated ability. I think it's really good. Annie's passive is broken. Just Pyromania is insane. Disintegrate, alright. Not too great, not too bad. I'd say Disintegrate or Incinerate's a little bit better, more AoE damage and more scaling. You got Molten Shield. Molten Shield is going to be mid. There are better shields out there, I think. Tibbers is also mid. It's only good because of the stun attached to it. Aphelios. So I believe this is the active for each weapon. So Calibrum's Moonshot. Why did I eat before I did this? I had lunch like 45 minutes ago. My stomach is still full. So Calibrum's Moonshot is going to be probably mid. I think Severum's Onslaught is going to be pretty solid. And we have Gravitum's Binding Eclipse is going to be goated because it's essentially a proc-based route, which I think is much more usable outside of his kit. Then you got Infernum's, I think this is the Dusk Wave. Dusk Wave is going to be mid. And Sentry I think might be a little bit better. We'll put it in pretty solid. Then these are the icons we're going to use for the Moonlight Vigil. Moonlight Vigil, the Calibrum one is mid. The Severum one's also mid. Gravitum one is pretty solid. Infernum one is pretty solid. And then Crescendum one is going to be pretty solid. Maybe the Infernum one I might put in goated if you use it more for teamfight purposes, but yeah. What's the question mark tier for? You'll find out. You'll find out. Ash's Frost Shot, broken. Just having Frozen Mallet attached to all of your auto attacks. You can't ask for a better thing than that. Focus is probably mid. There are better ones out there. Volley's alright. Volley, I would say, is that's pretty solid. It's a good poke tool, but they keep nerfing it for the purposes of poke. Hawk Shot is going to be our first question mark. No, actually, I think Hawk Shot has a pretty defined value to it. I think I'll give it the solid tier. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is busted. Then this one is Asol. So Asol, I think, is going to be here because you do need, you do need to have the rest of his kit. Breath of Light, on the other hand, you don't, and I think Breath of Light will be goated. Astral Flight. There are better mobility spells out there. I'm gonna put it in booty. Then you got which one's this one? Singularity, I think. Singularity will be. I actually think Singularity is also kind of booty. Oh, someone's calling me. 1 second. That was my workers' compensation auditor. So anyways, we're gonna continue. This is the base version of this guy's Descent, or I think it's called Falling Star. Falling Star is going to be probably, I think, it's still stun, but I think it's probably gonna be mid. You got Sky's Descent, which is a goated ability, does a lot of damage. Alright, what's this one? Aurora's kit. Aurora's kit is going to be, I think your passive will probably put in pretty solid because it does have the max health damage consumption. Or I might even put it even here because it's a continuous thing that can ramp up over time. So there's a lot of potential for it. Q is going to be pretty solid. It's better than Ari's Q, but it's also situationally more dependent on things. Are we ranking these based on how they are in their kits or in a vacuum? Mostly in a vacuum, but if let's say for example certain things need the context of the champion's kit, like Akali's passive because it's like energy, then we will account for that. Will this be a YouTube video? Yes. Now this is her W. W will be... it's pretty solid. Not great. Not too bad. But by itself, I don't think it does that much. The weirding is also pretty solid. It's a good retreating tool. It covers a lot of space and it's good for kiting. And then our ultimate. Ultimate will be mid. They nerfed this so now you can't get trapped in it. Like you just like walk through like Thresh's box. So because of that, I'll make it mid. And I had to mute my mic throughout the stream just to like give myself a moment to clear my throat. But anyways, we have Azir's passive, Shurima's Legacy, which is specifically the turret summon. I'm gonna put it in booty. It doesn't do that much. Then you have Conquering Sands. So here's a good example of what I mean by like certain abilities have to be done within the context of the champion's kit, because without soldiers you can't use this. I think with soldier it's a solid ability. Arise obviously is, well no, you could actually use Arise without Q and E, but I'll say Arise then goes here. A good ability, gives attack speed, gives range pressure and AoE pressure. Then Shifting Sands is also going to be pretty solid, I think. Or maybe we'll put these here because just you need to be Azir to use this, so. Emperor's Divide, on the other hand, does not need to be. I will put it in Busted. Other characters can also do something similar to the Azir Sec, and therefore I think it's a good ability. Caretaker's... no, not... that's a Traveler's Call. Can be done by itself, and Traveler's Call is goated. Cosmic Binding... I think, yeah. Pretty solid ability. I think we're good. What did I eat? I had a chicken teriyaki. We have Caretaker's Shrine is it's mid. They're much more, you know, helpful healing of utility out there. Yes, you could put it down, you could sit there forever, but look, Magical Journey is question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, let's just say Tempered Fate is the question mark, question mark, question mark ability. I think we can all agree on that. That's specifically what this category is for. It's for abilities that can either be S tier or F tier, and never in between. These are the true neutral abilities. Velvet's Death and Lavender. This will be... is this the one where... well yeah, attack speed cap removed, and then I think you get attack speed for 2 hits, right? And then he gets permanent stacks of Lavender. I'll say it's pretty solid. Relatively. Now this on the other hand, Voice Surge is busted. 4 dashes in direction that apply on-hit effects and attack everything? Definitely. Then we have Above and Below. It's a good damaging ability. It's like King's W, Red King's W. It's a, I would say it's a pretty solid ability. And we got Royal Maelstrom, also a pretty solid ability. Good defensive tool that can be used to kind of execute. And then of course you have Endless Banquet, which for some champions I actually think they could use Endless Banquet better than Bel'Veth, but regardless it'll still be mid. Blitzcrank's Mana Shield or Mana Barrier, it's gonna be mid, probably mid. Rocket Grab on the other hand is busted. This ability, Overdrive, oh Overdrive, the most memed on ability because it is the anti-200 years. I'll actually put it in mid because it's still good. It's not Aatrox's W where like, why would you ever use it? This has the, you know, the self-slow and everything like that, but it still is the good ability. Well, MS, remember, when it comes to the infinite true stacking, a Bel'Veth has to attack the same target continuously. The moment she changes targets, she has to restack. So it's not as broken as it looks. Then Power Fist. Power Fist is goated. It's double AD, right? Or did they nerf it? Let me check. It's double damage, though. So, which means if you were to give this to any champion who actually builds AD, they get a point and click knockup for 1 second and double damage. Then you have Static Field is a solid ability, destroys shields, it silences, and it does damage. Then you have Brand with his, what is it called, Blaze? Blaze is busted. I say that because, remember, apart from the fact that just applying abilities, so if a champion could apply things much faster or have like point and click, then they can get the explosion much more easily. But it also gives you infinite mana sustain because if you kill an enemy that's on fire, you get mana back. So Blaze is just disgusting. Seer is probably Monkcast without the stun, because you can't get the stun without Blaze. Pillar of Fire is mid. It doesn't do that much damage without Blaze again. And then Conflagration is also kind of booty. You really need Brand's Kit to make these abilities hard. Pyroclasm, same thing. I'll probably put it in booty. It's unreliable even on Brand, and then outside of Brand, it would also be unreliable. Again, sorry for flickering the screen. It's because every time I switch between my monitors, it does that. But bear with me for a moment. Concussive Blows is going to be busted. This is a team-wide stun everyone can use. Winter's Bite without Concussive Blows is mid. It's just a projectile, or I'll even put it in booty. It's a projectile that does damage and slows enemies. That's it. Stand Behind Me is not bad. It's a pretty solid ability, good for most supports. I think they would enjoy it. Unbreakable, similarly, is a goated ability. Fully blocks the damage of the first attack that comes into it, including true damage. I've seen Brahms use Unbreakable to block like Garen ultimate. Oh my god, my stomach is so full. I'm fat. I'm so fat. It's okay. Glacial Fissure is gonna be, I think, goated. It's a good control ability and good knockup. This is Briar. Oh boy, Briar. Okay, Crimson Curse. By itself. Does it have the healing on top of it? Yes. So Crimson Curse, I'll say, is a solid ability. Other attacks can apply it faster, I think. Yeah, other characters can apply Crimson Curse much faster. Then you have Head Rush. Head Rush is a goated ability. Point and click stun, reduces armor. Can't go wrong with that. Blood Frenzy. Question mark, question mark, question mark? Question mark? I don't know. Like, it's a questionable ability for sure. Then you have Chilling Scream. Chilling Scream is gonna be... I feel like other characters can use this better than Briar. I don't know why. I'll put it in probably pretty solid. It's a good defensive ability, regeneration, and it can do a lot of damage if you decide to put this on an AP champion. Then you have Certain Death. Certain Death is going to be a pretty solid ability. Just a global, like, I think a lot of champions could use that. Caitlyn's Headshot. Caitlyn's Headshot is pretty solid, does a lot of damage, and a lot of applications. Built over Peacemaker is mid, it's just a damaging ability, doesn't do that much. Yordle Snaptrap is good for control, I'll put it in pretty solid. 90 caliber net is not great because without the headshot component, you don't get to really use too much out of it. There are better dashes out there. Then you have Ace in the Hole. Ace in the Hole is goated. People think like, Caitlyn's ultimate's not that great because you can block the shot, but no, I would disagree. I think if you power a lot of AD into that move, it doesn't matter who tanks the shot, it's gonna hurt. So. Adaptive Defense, goated. In laning phase, it's really good, and then considering you're usually focusing one person as a person who wants to have this passive, you're focusing one person. That's all you care about. So it's 20% max health, I think, right? I don't think it's 20% max health. I think it's like 18 or something. Oh no, it is 20%. It's a big shield. Precision Protocol is busted. 1000 true damage per auto in the late game. Well, not per auto, but Tactical Sleep is mid. It's a good damaging tool, but that's about it. Hookshot is busted. One of the best gap closers, period. Then you have Hextech Ultimatum. I'll put it in goated. It's a good ability, but I think not really best in slot for most characters. Then you have Serpentine Grace is, okay, not having to buy boots is a privilege. I say that right now. Not having to buy boots is actually a blessing. For that, I'll put it in mid though, because are you really willing to sacrifice your passive to get that? Probably not. Noxious Blast is booty. without the Jade Fang or the Twin Fang. Miasma, busted. This move controls entire battles by itself. Twin Fang is a booty ability because of that poison. Well, I guess you could technically have like Cinched Q with E, so maybe I might put it in mid. Then you have Petrifying Gaze. Petrifying Gaze is a good ability, but because it can be blocked, or not blocked, but circumvented, better if you just had like a Moomoo ultimate. I think most players would just prefer a Moomoo ultimate. I'll put it in mid. Cho'Gath's Carnivore. Carnivore is a booty passive. It's good for lane sustain and for mana sustain, but if we want mana sustain, just get, you know, Blaze. Or if you want lane sustain, then get anything else, right? You don't need Carnivore. Or Carnivore I might even put here. It's so irrelevant of a passive. Rupture, on the other hand, is goated. It's a low cooldown AoE knockup with range and damage and slow attached to it. Pretty good. Rail Scream, same thing. AoE Silence. AoE Silence is disgusting and it does a lot of damage. Horrible Spikes. Mid. Most of the damage from Vorpal Spikes comes from V-Stacks, so if you don't have V-Stacks, then you don't really get much out of it. Feast, on the other hand, ooh. We're putting that in busted. Point and click true damage, and it's a flat amount of true damage. It gives you free HP. Anyone can use it, not just Cho'Gath. In fact, the only thing balancing Feast is that it's on Cho'Gath, who can't just dash into you and one-shot you. Like, imagine if Silas had that. Then we got Corki. Hextech Munitions is gonna be... Is this one of the true damage? Yeah. How much is it, though? 20% bonus true damage. Ooh. Oh, imagine, like... no, it's not that great actually. I'll put it in mid. Then you have Phosphorus Bomb is mid. Got Valkyrie. Valkyrie's alright. Valkyrie's a dash ability. It's a pretty good one. And does a decent amount of damage if you want to build AP. Then you got Gatling Gun. Gatling Gun's actually a good ability. I'm going to put it in pretty solid as well. Then you have Missile Barrage. Missile Barrage is going to be in pretty solid. It's alright. It gives you a free poke and free neutral, but it's not... Wait, where did I put it? Oh. Oops. It gives you a free poke and free neutral, but I don't think people will go out of their way for it. Oh, my poor editor. How many times are they gonna have to cut this video? They're gonna have to, but whatever. Oh, Hemorrhage. How much I love you. Busted. Free AD, free bleed damage. You can get the 5 stacks much faster on another champion than Darius. There you go. Decimate's a goated ability. Does a lot of damage. It's good for wave clear. It's a harassing tool. It's a lot of sustain. Crippling Strike. Okay. You know, other auto attack resets would be better. Then you got Apprehend. Apprehend is a goated ability. It's an AoE pull with armor penetration too. And if I recall, again, apologies for the blinking that's happening on screen. That's every time I click on a different window. But if you recall, Apprehend has 40% armor penetration. Right? Like, you combine this with... I don't freaking know. Just combine this with a champion like Wukong or something. He starts doing true damage to everybody. Noxian Guillotine without passive is definitely... one cast. It's a really, really bad. That's like no damage at base. Diana's Moonlight, what is it called again? Moonsilver Blade. Moonsilver Blade's actually really good because it gives you a crap ton of attack speed. So I'm gonna put it in pretty solid. Then you have Crescent Strike. Without the Lunar Rush component to it, it doesn't do that much. I'll put it in mid. Hail Cascade though is usable without her kit. I'll put it in pretty solid. And then you have Lunar Rush, which is one of the longest range of point and click dashes in the game. But without the reset, I'm gonna put it in mid because it has a long cooldown. I think like 20 seconds, something. Yeah. So we're 27 minutes in and we're on the letter D. Then you have Moonfall. Moonfall is a good ability. I would put it in goated. Other champions could probably use it if they have Moonfall and then like another AoE stun. Like imagine if you had Alistar Q and then Moonfall on top of that. League of Draven. Question mark, question. No. Actually not applicable because you need... Well, no. You can generate stacks of League of Draven without Spinning Axe. Yeah. So I'll put it in Monkcast because you don't have a faster way to generate stacks. So that'll go there. Spinning Axe, I think we'll put in pretty solid. It's a lot of damage and other champions can use it. Blood Rush is a booty ability. It's only good because you can spam it, but without it, not so much. Stand Aside, it's a good ability. It's a good get off me tool and disruption. Then you have Whirling Death. Whirling Death is a solid ability. A lot of damage. Mundo's passive, Goes Where He Pleases, is goated. Being able to ignore crowd control, because especially at level 16, towards the late game, if you can pick up the canister consistently every single time, you are CC immune, effectively. So I'm gonna put that in goated. And also extra health regeneration is not bad too. Infected Cleaver is gonna be put in pretty solid. Percent health damage, a lot of percent health damage on a low cooldown. Well, okay, here's the thing though. If your champion doesn't have easy source of healing, and you miss a lot of cleavers, you actually kill yourself with this ability. But I still think it's a good one. Heart Zapper is Monkaz. It's right next to Aatrox with being a bad ability. Blunt Force Trauma though is goated. It's a ton of attack damage by building HP. And it's a good active too. You can use it for wave clear, for empowered auto attacks, things like that. Then you have Maximum Dosage. Maximum Dosage I'll put in mid. It's okay. It's not great, not bad. It's just that it's better on Mundo because you stack a bunch of health on Mundo. Ninvi, are all these in a vacuum or in combination? It's a combination. Z-Drive Resonance is a solid ability. It's a solid ability. Timewinder is also a solid ability, I think. It can be used for wave clear, for poke, for area control, and for damage as well. Parallel Convergence is also a solid ability. There's a lot you can do with this, and other champions might be able to do it much better than Echo. Then you have Phase Dive. Phase Dive is a great ability. It's a 2-point dash or 2-part dash, one of which is free targeted, so I think there's a lot more dynamic application with that. Then you have Chrono Break. Chrono Break is going to be in goated. It's a get out of jail free card that any champion would be happy to have. Like you give this to, let's say, I don't know, maybe Evelyn. Evelyn might be okay with it. I'm not sure, but either way, no, she wants her last caress, but still. Elise is Spider Queen. Spider Queen is not applicable. Neurotoxin is awful. This is one of the worst abilities in the game. Then you have Voltile Spiderling, which on the other hand is a little bit better, but I might put it in mid still because you can't really control it. Cocoon is busted. This, I believe, is the longest crowd control duration on a stun that's not attached to an ult. Yeah, it's 2.4 seconds, and it has a 10-second cooldown in the late game. Cocoon is crazy good. This is like the one ability that makes her actually like viable, apart from Repel. Then you have this, obviously her ultimate doesn't really do anything. Venomous Bite is it's a mid ability. It's good damage. Maybe other champions could use it better, but there are better, damaging abilities out there. Then you have Skittering Frenzy, which is a booty ability, because Skittering Frenzy does give you a ton of attack speed, but it's not. That's it. That's all it gives you. It doesn't give you movement speed or anything else. Then you have Repel. Repel is busted. Okay, so Demon Shade. Demon Shade, what was that sound? Demon Shade is broken. Demon Shade is free sustain. Like, forget the stealth. Free sustain. You basically can last forever by having well no, I do recognize a lot of these abilities by name, but yes, I do have the wiki up. Anyways, free sustain by just being out of combat, and you also get perma stealth. Hate Spike. Hate Spike is gonna be in pretty solid. People don't realize, because it's spread across 4 attacks like the jab and then the 3 things that come afterwards, but Hate Spike has an AP ratio of, I think, like almost 200% or something ridiculous. It's actually really good. Level Bubble, hello Vars, I loved your Maple Star videos, thank you. I'm glad I still have a lot of old time viewers. Allure. Allure is gonna be... mid. I say mid because without the stealth, making it easy for you to just sneak up on them, you might be better off having like on-demand CC. Whiplash. Whiplash is a good ability, does damage, and it's a gap closer. And wait, can you get the empowered version without Demon Shade? No, you can't. Wait. No, okay. You don't get you need Demon Shade, so without it, then Whiplash is booty. Last Caress is a goated ability. It's an execute tied with an escape, and you can also use it to dodge certain abilities. Okay, Rising Spell Force is a booty passive. There are better stacking passives out there than Ezreal's. Mystic Shot is goated. It's free damage, and it reduces cooldowns, and it applies on hit effects. Can't go wrong with it. You have Essence Flux, which is, I'll say, pretty solid because you can use it outside of Ezreal's kit, and it does do quite a bit of damage, and I think it also restores mana when you use it. Arcane Shift is gonna be mid, or let's say pretty solid. Okay, so Arcane Shift is strange because on one hand it's a good ability, it's a blink, not even a dash, so you can use it to get rid of or to get away from like Talia or Poppy or things like that. But the reason Arcane Shift is so good is because you can reduce the cooldown of it with Mystic Shot, but if you can't, you have a 26-second cooldown at rank 1. I still think it's okay. I really apologize for the consistent need to mute my mic and belch. Okay, True Shot Barrage, I'll put it next to Whirling Death. It's a good damaging tool in teamfights and execute, or for like in executing things. Fiddlestick's passive is Monkcast, a worse ward until level 6. And then at level 6, yes, there's things you can do with it, but why would anyone ever want it? Terrify is goated. It's a point and click PC for like 2 seconds. This is great. It just doesn't do that much damage, or it does no damage. Actually, no, it does do damage if you use it on someone that's already feared. Wait, hang on a minute. No, wait, this one's unbusted because if you're invisible to champions before you engage, if you have like, what's a good champion, like, hang on. Like what's an ability that can attack a lot of people at once? Just like Crowstorm, but much easier to do. And like, cause think about it, if you have, this is basically like Annie's Pyromania, but like all you have to do is just stay away from it, right? Like for example, if you were to walk up to someone and you, yeah, like Lee Sin E, then it turns into a Vex like W essentially. So Terrify is great. What am I saying? Then you have is this Bountiful Harvest? Yeah, Bountiful Harvest is pretty solid. I'll say pretty solid. Other CC abilities can paralyze enemies to do this. Oh, Aurora ult, yeah, just imagine if you had like Aurora, or like Rumble Ultimate. Oh my god, Rumble Ultimate with Fiddlesticks Q? That's crazy though. Or Karthus Ultimate, exactly, yeah. Reap is alright. Kinda mid. Crowstorm is pretty solid. It would be higher if you had some way to apply, like, you know, if you had like Annie's Pyromania, then it would be the same thing. But I think, no, I'll put it in Golden. It's one of the few ultimates in the game that like the entire team has to respect. So I'll put that there. Duelist Dance. Duelist Dance is busted. Passive percentile true damage, and all you have to do is just be on a certain side. Lunge without Duelist Dance is the mid ability. Riposte is going to be goated. It is a good ability, there's counterplay to it, but this is a very solid defensive tool. Blade Work is mid. Better things out there. Grand Challenge, you need to have the passive accounted for, so let's just say it assumes the passive with it. I'll put Grand Challenge in goated. Nimble Fighter, is that what it's called? Yeah, Nimble Fighter. Nimble Fighter is Monkcast. This thing sucks. This thing actually sucks. I don't think there's a worse passive than that. No, there are worse passives out there, but yeah, that's one. Urchin Strike is going to be pretty solid. It's a good dashing tool. It can apply on-hit effects and spell effects at the same time. Keystone Trident is pretty good, I would say. Playful Trickster is going to be busted. No one will disagree on that. Chum the Waters is pretty solid, I think. Okay, Galio's Colossal Smash. I'm going to put it in mid. It's not bad, but you'll do better things out there. Winds of War is also a mid projectile. There are better ones out there. Shield of Durand, or Idol Durand, is a great ability. It's defense, it's damage mitigation, and it's an AoE CC. Justice Punch, there are better dash ones out there, I think. This is not that great. I'll put it in mid. Then you have Hero's Entrance, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Hero's Entrance. That'll be a pretty solid ability. It's a good follow-up, it's a good anti-engage. Like, you can use it to follow up with Jarvan, or you can use it as a protection tool, so there are use cases for it, but I think it might be better. You know what? No, I'll put that in Goated, I think. Alright, Gangplank's Trial by Fire, it's mid. It's just extra damage. That's getting my eye. 1 second, guys. Alright. Parlay. Parlay is mid as well. This is dangerous when you combine it with Powder Keg, but without Powder Keg, not so much. Remove Scurvy is going to be in Goated. It's a self-cleanse and to heal. As long as you have mana, then you can use this as often as you want. Then you have Powder Keg. Powder Keg is great. There are other point-and-click attacks that can use the detonation for this, like you can use Kale's E, you can use or just a ranged champion. Forget Kale's E, just give it to a ranged champion. They'll love this thing. Powder Keg, and then you have Cannon Barrage. Assuming, okay, so Cannon Barrage will be accounted for without the upgrades. You can't use the upgrades, but even without it, I'll still put it in probably Goated. Okay, Garen's Perseverance. A Warmog's passive is gonna be pretty solid. This gets obnoxious later on. Like, early game it doesn't do that much, but towards the late game, this thing is infinite sustain. So you can definitely use it. Decisive Strike is gonna be in pretty solid. It's one of the better point-and-click auto attack empowerments out there because it has a slowness cleanse, and then a burst of speed, and then a silence. So there's a lot you can do with this. Courage. Courage is not bad. I'm gonna put Courage in pretty solid as well. Then you have Judgment. Spin to win. Spin to win. Man, I'm like sibilancing really bad. But anyways, that's it's a good ability. It's a good damaging ability. And Demacian Justice. Very similar to Cho'Gath's Feast. The only thing balancing this is the fact that you don't have this on Silas. If you had this on Silas, he would love it. You would not need another ultimate. He just gets that one over and over. I do not sound like my voice? What do you mean? You not see this? What am I supposed to look like? No, Tomato. The free gold is from Parlay. Okay, 40 minutes in, and we're still like... I had to go faster. I had to go faster. There's no way I can elaborate every single ability. Okay, Rage Gene is gonna be... not applicable. No, it's applicable. You could just transform, but keep the original abilities. So I'll put that in solid. Boomerang. Boomerang is mid. Doesn't do that much. Hyper is great though. Hyper I'm gonna put in Goated. Hop. Oh, yeah. Hop is gonna be also a Goated ability. Then you got Mega Gnar, or Gnar, whatever it's called. It's a great ability. This thing's broken. Boulder Toss. Boulder Toss is a solid ability. A lot of damage, a lot of crowd control. Well, not crowd control, but a lot of pressure. Wallop is also a great ability. Then you have Crunch, which is not as good as Hop in my opinion. I'm gonna put it... Where did I put Hop? Oh, I put Hop there. I'm gonna put Crunch in pretty solid. Okay, Happy Hour. Happy Hour is goated. It's infinite sustain as long as you can cast an ability. Barrel Roll. Barrel Roll is pretty solid. It's a zoning tool. It's a pressure tool. It's a damaging tool. It's a lot of tools. Drunken Rage. It's okay. Kind of mid. Body Slam though. Body Slam's broken. Not like busted here, but I think Body Slam's really good. Explosive Cask. Question mark, question mark, question mark. It can either be a great ability or it can grief the hell out of you. Hi Vars, I very often see Kiana in your videos and I was wondering why she was there as often as she is. It's just a coincidence. Okay, this is True Grit, right? Graves passive. Graves passive is gonna be in... Oh no, this isn't True Grit. This is Graves is a shotgun. probably not applicable. Yeah. End of the line is gonna be in pretty solid. It does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage for an AoE attack. Smokescreen is gonna be in busted. This ability is broken. It's so underrated, but people sleep on that too much. This is the true grit passive or the quick draw. We're gonna put that in Godin because it's a lot of free armor. And oh wait, no, but you can't reduce the cooldown without the pellet shot. So without that, I'm gonna put it in probably booty or like mid. Yeah. No, I'll put it in booty. Then you have what's this one again? Collateral damage, right? Collateral damage is gonna be in maybe pretty solid. A good ability, like in terms of it can be used as an escape tool and it can be used to kill someone who is like far away, but I don't think it's that. Well, no, if I put Caitlyn's thing here, I might put here. This is here. Okay, Gwen's Snip Snip or 1000 Cuts. 1000 Cuts is gonna be goated. I think other champions can apply this much easier. So then you got Snip Snip, which is I think a pretty solid ability. Or no, without 1000 Cuts, it's actually not that great. So I'll put it in mid. Hollowed Veil or Hollowed Mist, whatever it's called. Busted. This move is horse shit. Okay, then you have Snip and Skip and Slash. Skip and Slash has a lot of good usage, and I think I'm going to put it in goated because you get on-hit damage, you get attack speed, and you get more attack range. And then you also get a dash that reduces cooldown if you land an auto attack. A ranged champion would love this because the ranged champion gets like I think 75 attack range or something. Then you have Needlework. Needlework. Needlework is gonna be in booty. Without 1000 Cuts, this thing sucks. Warpath. Warpath is gonna be in probably no. Other champions could use it. I'll put it in booty. It's still kind of bad though. Rampage is a good ability, good damage, and has a cooldown thing attached to it by itself, so you can use that. And then you have Spirit of Dread. Spirit of Dread is goated. This thing is so broken if it was on a champion who can get a lot more damage off because it's the spell vamp and armor and magic resist attached to it. This is a great ability. Then you have Devastating Charge. It's gonna be in pretty solid. It's okay, I think. Then you got Onslaught of Shadows. This one is a goated ability, or I'll put it in busted because it's a team fight wombo combo ultimate, and it can also be used to escape and even override CC components. So a lot you can do with this. This one is... It's not Techmaturgical Repair Bots. Which one is this? Because they changed it. Is this the one that gives like movement speed? Yeah, no, this passive is awful. Never mind. Now these turrets by themselves, you don't have the rest of the kit to manipulate them, but even so, I'd still think they're pretty good for control. I'll do pretty solid. The rockets are mid, it's just damage, it's okay. The Electron Storm Grenade is also mid. It's a CC ability, but it's not very generous. You're better off having like Lux Q or something. Then you have Evolve, which doesn't work because, you need the rest of his other abilities. Rocket Swarm, well yeah, these don't apply either. Okay, Hui. Alright, Hui, I need his description. So the Visionary thing is not bad because you can use it without his kit, but I'll still say mid because it's just follow-up damage after attacking an enemy twice. Devastating Fire is going to be a mid ability. It's not that great, not bad. I'm going to put Severing Bolt in... Some champions could do it better. They can make use of it better, but if you're taking the Q slot for just this... Actually, Devastating Fire I'll put in pretty solid because it does do % health damage. It's better than Karma's Q. That's that. Then you got Molten Fissure. Molten Fissure is mid. Okay, Fleeting Current. Fleeting Current, if you're replacing your W, it is a booty ability. Then you have the water, what is it called again? Pool of Reflection. Pool of Reflection is also mid. Do I remember all abilities by name? About 90% of them. Some of them I don't remember. Like this one. I don't remember what this one is. Stirring Lights. Stirring Lights is gonna be booty. It's mana sustain, but there are better mana sustain abilities out there. Then this one is... What are these ability names? Grim Visage. There we go. Grim Visage is... it's a good ability. It's like a Morgana Q, but like a shittier one. So I'll put it in pretty solid. Then you have Gaze of Eye of the Abyss or Gaze of the Abyss, one of that. It's mid ability. It's not as good as Grim Visage, I would say. Then you got the Crushing Maw. Crushing Maw is gonna be a it's a mid ability. I would say Facebreaker is a little bit better. Yes, this is a projectile or like a like target location and use it, but I think not that great. Then you have what is this one? Spiraling Despair. Spiraling Despair is a good ability. A lot of control, a lot of AoE slowing, and big explosion. Malawi, Prophet of the Elder God, is going to be not applicable because it just doesn't matter. Then you got Tentacle Slam, which is a booty ability. It's a very avoidable ability. Harsh Lesson is a goated ability. It's a low cooldown, percent max health damage attack that scales. Like towards the mid to late game, this thing does like 18% max health damage. That's the Spirit. S tier. Busted. No one complained. Leap of Faith is Monkcast because without the tentacles to accompany it, it doesn't do anything. It's just damage. Irelia's Ionian Fervor. Ionian Fervor is gonna be in goated tier. This is much better than Ezreal's Rising Spell Force, so we'll put that there. Then you got Blade Surge. Blade Surge is great. It'll be in goated tier because you can still use it to wave clear minions and stuff. You don't get the resets from Flawless Duet and Vanguard's Edge, but you can still do it. Defiant Dance is a solid ability. It's kind of right there next to Royal Maelstrom, where it doesn't do that much damage, but it makes you very tanky. Then you have Flawless Duet, which is a booty ability without the Blade Surge. Then you got Vanguard's Edge, same thing. I might put it in mid because it still does damage and still controls area, so it's not that bad. Then you got Friend of the Jungle, Friend of the Jungle or Friend of the Forest. I might actually put that in pretty solid because other junglers can use it technically. Root Caller is goated. Root Caller is a root that other champions can dash to. Very, very helpful. Then you got Bushwhack. Bushwhack? Not Bushwhack. That's Nidalee's thing. Brushmaker. Brushmaker is gonna be question mark, question mark, question mark. This could either work for you or against you, depending on how it's applied. Alright, then we got Trigger Seed. Trigger Seed is goated. Does damage and it's a shield. Then you got Daisy. Daisy I'm gonna put in goated as well. Daisy is one of the more threatening summons to watch out for because she's much tankier and she actually comes with AoE crowd control on herself. Janna's Tailwind is booty. Most of the time people don't even realize that they're affected by it. Howling Gale, on the other hand, is goated. There's so many applications you can use with this. You can use it for peel, for control, for zoning, all that stuff. Then you got Zephyr. Zephyr is kind of booty. The passive movement speed you get is not bad, but it doesn't do enough damage. You got Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm is a goated ability shield that increases AD, and I think the cooldown reduction comes with it by itself. Yes, it does. So, like some champions, if they have a more persistent slow, then you can get a lot more out of this because you can reset the cooldown a lot. Then you got Monsoon. Monsoon is it's mid. Say. Okay, and this is Jarvan's Martial Cadence. Martial Cadence will go in. It's a pretty solid. It's basically every so often you do max health damage, or not max health damage, but current health damage. You got Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike is good, but without the Demacian Standard, it doesn't really do that much. But it does reduce armor, so you still have to account for that. Golden Aegis, it got buffed, so it's no longer a trash ability, but I still think it's booty. And then Demacian Standard without the Dragon Strike that goes with it is a Monkcast ability. Cataclysm, on the other hand, is goated. If you time it correctly, you can actually bypass certain crowd control and things like that. Like for example, I use this to one-time dodge Mordekaiser ultimate because it technically counts as crowd control, and many things you can do with this. Jax's Grandmaster's Might, or no, that's his ultimate. This is a Relentless Onslaught, Relentless Assault. There you go. That's gonna be goated. It's kind of like Irelia. Doesn't have like a It doesn't have like an extra benefit to it, but it's much better than Ezreal because it actually scales more. Then you have Leap Strike. Leap Strike is goated. You can teleport to, or not teleport, you can jump to allies. And Power is mid, or even like booty. Use any other auto attack reset. Counter Strike is busted. This thing breaks the game. Grandmaster at Arms is gonna be pretty solid. Yeah. Jace is was a Hextech Capacitor is Monkcast. This thing is so useless. Don't ever use it. To the skies, I'm gonna say pretty solid. It's a good damage. No, I'll put it here. Lightning Field. Lightning Field I will put in goated because it's free mana on hit. If you get this to a ranged champion, they're gonna love it. Which one's this one again? Thundering Blow. Thundering Blow's mid. Alright. Then here you have the transform ones, which don't apply, of course. Oh no, that's not true because you get the extra like the extra benefit from it, but even so, I'm putting that here and I'm putting that here. Shock Blast is booty without the acceleration gate. Hypercharge though is pretty good. I'm gonna put it in pretty solid. Then you have, it's like Halo Blades, that's basically it. Okay, then we have acceleration gate. Acceleration gate is booty. Okay, Jin's Whisper. I think people would want this because you give this to a champion that doesn't actually care about, like, I'm gonna give it to probably goated. I think I'll give it to goated because the AT scaling, the movement speed on crit, like the execute auto attack, it's a good ability. Dancing Grenade is pretty solid, I would say. Not too bad. Actually, yeah, now that you're right, now that you mention Evil Case, I might put it in Aatrox's passive in mid. Deadly Flourish is a solid ability, good long range follow-up. Then you got Captive Audience with like, okay, Captive Audience without the rest of his kit is pretty booty. Curtain Call. Curtain Call is gonna be pretty solid. Jinx's Get Excited is gonna be goated. You give this to a champion who can hyper carry just as better, like, you know, better than she can. I think it would be pretty beneficial. Pow Pow and Fishbones, they're technically the same ability, so we're gonna put them together. Yeah, I think a lot of people would enjoy it because you get the passive attack speed of Pow Pow, and then with Fishbones, you get long range attacks. So I'll put it in goated. I'll put them both in goated. Zap is a solid ability, good for getting vision, slowing enemies, and for poke. Then you got Flame Choppers, which is also a pretty solid ability. And then Super Mega Death Rocket is gonna go in goated. I consider this more threatening than Whirling Death or Two-Shot Barrage. Kaisa, Second Skin. Second Skin will be pretty solid. Acathian Rain will account for the upgrade version as well. We'll put it in pretty... Actually no, Second Skin will put in goated. Acathian Rain will put in solid. Void Seeker? Yeah, Void Seeker will put in... probably mid. Supercharge is gonna be pretty solid. If you can get the stealth with it, then yeah, it's good. Then Killer Instinct is gonna go in, I think, goated. Martial Poise is in busted. If it was on a different champion than Callista, it would be great. Then you got Spear Shot, or Pierce. Not Spear Shot, that's the name of the champion, or the Screamer. So then we got Pierce. Pierce is kind of booty. Without Martial Poise and without the spear stacking thing on it, it's pretty bad. Actually, I'll put it in Monkcast. Sentinel is also Monkcast. It sucks. Rend is great though. Rend, imagine giving this to like Urgot, for example. Then you get definitely put that in goated. Then Fate's Call. Fate's Call, if you can just bind the spear like how Silas does it, then Fate's Call I think is also a pretty goated ability. Karma's Mantra. Or this is Gathering Fire, but it only applies to Mantra anyway, so not applicable. You got Soulfire or Inner Flame. Inner Flame is going to be attached with Soulfire, so I'm just going to take... or... No, it won't. I'll put it in booty. And then Focused Resolve is going to be in mid. It is have Yeah, I'll put it in mid. Inspire? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Inspire's gonna be in pretty solid, I think. Let me change the music really quick. Let's do... What soundtrack do I want to play? Probably Colony? Do Colony. Okay. Resume. We're gonna put these here because they're not accessible without mantra. That Defied is gonna be busted. Give this to a champion who can apply a lot better, more threatening skill shots, then you get that and they're good. Lay Waste is a... let's say a booty ability, honestly. Then you got Wall of Pain is pretty solid because it shreds resistances for all enemies as well, and it gives vision and it slows. Not too bad. Then you got Defile. Defile is going to be in pretty solid because it does have the mana refund attached to it. Requiem I'm going to put in Goated. I don't think it's a busted ability. I think there are things that could make it not work too consistently, so I'll put it in there. My god, how much more? Oh my god. I might need to refill my water. Look at this, it's already empty. What do I do, guys? It's so much, so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this one's Castin's Void Stone. Void Stone is kind of booty. It does reduce magic damage, and so it's a little bit better than Fizz, but still not that great. Null Sphere. I'm gonna put Null Sphere in mid. The silencing component or the disruption is not too bad. You can use it for a couple of them. Then you have Nether Blade, which refunds mana and it gives you on him magic damage. I'm gonna put that in mid still. Force Pulse, not that bad. You can use it quite well. I'm gonna put it in pretty solid. It does a lot of damage and in an AoE, and it also slows everything that it hits. Then you got Rift Walk. Rift Walk is going to be goated. Rift Walk has a few limitations to it. If you need a lot of mana sustain to use this, and if you don't have like Nether Blade, then you might be in trouble, but it's still pretty good. Site F2. How do I remember all the icons and names? It's because I make videos on this game. I read a lot, so yeah. I mean, I don't remember every single icon. I have like I have the wiki up right now, but still. Okay, here we have Veracity. Veracity is gonna be busted. No one disagrees with that. Bouncing Blade. Without Veracity... Wait, is the Blade passive attached to... Okay, yeah. So Bouncing Blade is awful because without the blade that comes after it, it doesn't do anything. Same with Preparation, it doesn't do anything. Or maybe we should assume that it does come with one blade. Maybe. Let's do that. Okay. In which case, Bouncing Blade will be booty. Or like maybe, yeah, booty. And then Preparation will be booty as well, I think. Shanpo, on the other hand, I'm gonna put in pretty solid because it's a point and click dash that can apply to allies, enemies, and oh wait, no, you don't get the cooldown reset though, and without the cooldown reset, it's kind of... but it's still a dash. It is still a dash. Death Lotus. Death Lotus is going to be in mid. It's a good ultimate, but without the constant resets you get from her passive, I don't think it's actually that great. Hill has probably the best of the scaling attack speed thing, like the Divine Ascent. I might even put it in Busted because you turn a champion into a ranged champion, you get like AoE spell shots and stuff like that. It does a lot. So I think we'll put that. It's definitely better than Irelia's Ionian Fervor, I think. Not I think, I know. Radiant Blast is going to be in pretty solid. It's a poke tool, it does damage, and it can reduce enemy resistances, both of them. So not too bad. Okay, then we have Celestial Blessing is going to be pretty solid because you could use it on two people, yourself and then someone else. Then Starfire Spellblade, okay, mid. Divine Intervention though goes into Busted. No arguments there. Okay, Kane. This doesn't matter, of course. Default Reaping Slash, which is tied to base Kane and blue Kane, will go into pretty solid. It does a lot of damage and it covers a lot of area, so it's not too bad. It's also a dash. Then you have Kane's, the red Kane Reaping Slash, which is goated, right? It's percent health damage. It's just percent health damage, so yeah. Oh wait, no. These actually have properties to them, I remember, because they have passes. So blue cane we're gonna put into pretty solid because some assassins can use this really well. And then red cane we're putting in busted. We're putting red cane in busted, 100%. Okay, Blade's End? Is that what it's called? Or Reaping Slash? No, Reaping Slash is the Q. Blade's Reach, there we go. Blade's Reach, base one is gonna be Booty. The red one is gonna be in Goated. I put Belvath also here, right? Where did I put Belvath? Right? That's Belvath's W, right? Oh, I did. Okay, to be fair, Kane's W I think has a longer knockup duration. Let me actually double check. So let me check, does it have a longer knockup duration? It is a longer knockup duration. So I'll put it a bit higher. Then you have the blue cane. Blue cane is also, I think, goated because you can cast it while running and it has a big range and slow. It's pretty good. Actually, no, maybe I'll put that in pretty solid. Then you have regular Shadow Step. Regular Shadow Step is going to be pretty solid because it's wall hacking. Even at base, it's really good. But then blue cane, we're putting that in goated for sure. Umbral Trespass for blue cane and regular cane, I think is the same one. We'll put that in pretty solid. And then for red cane, we're going to put it in goated because it's max health damage and healing. Okay, so Kennen. Kennen is going to be Mark of the Storm. Mark of the Storm is busted. If you can apply it much easier with like point and click abilities, there you go. Thundering Shuriken is mid. It does a lot of damage. It does do a lot of damage. Electrical Surge, you don't get the active component, but you do get the passive. And for that, it's just probably Monk Cast. Then you have Lightning Rush. Lightning Rush is going to be pretty solid. Lightning Rush is a good damaging ability. Not damaging ability. No, it actually is a damaging ability. But it gives you attack speed and a lot of quick tempo. Then you got Slicing Maelstrom, which without the passive is pretty bad. But I think because Silas gets to apply stuns with his, we're going to just account for it with Slicing Maelstrom, I think. Probably, yeah. So we'll do that and we'll put that in busted. But without the passive, without the passive, it goes down to like here. It goes all the way down to like booty tier. But with the passive, it goes to busted. I'll put that maybe in, we'll just leave that there for now, I think. Unseen Threat. Unseen Threat's going to be booty. Doesn't do that much. Just gives you like an extra bit of damage and I think like a small slow upon exiting enemy vision, but that's it. Taste Their Fear, on the other hand, maybe we can account for the evolve. No, we can't. Taste Their Fear, though, without the evolve version, you don't get the cooldown reset, but it still does a lot of damage. I'll put it as mid. Void Spike without the Spike Racks. Spike Rack would be a lot better, but I'm gonna put Void Spike in booty tier. Leap is not bad though, because it is still a dash. It's a free target dash, and you don't get the reset, but it's still not bad. I'll put it in here. Then you got Void Assault. Void Assault. Because Void Assault can technically evolve itself, I'm also counting for the extra, or like the adaptive cloaking version as well. Then we'll put that in pretty solid. A lot of outplay potential and usage with that one. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna like stop the recording and just take a quick break. Oh my god. I need a minute. I just need a minute. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna actually take a lozenge. Give me a sec. I'm actually gonna have one of these because my throat is killing me. And I'll be right back. I'm actually gonna refill my water. I just need a moment. I need a moment. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second, a minute, please the restroom. Okay. Oh my god. Alright. I am back. We're still gonna chill for a bit. We're gonna just chill for a little bit. I need to like... Oh my god. I'm gonna wait until I at least finish my my lozenge. Can you explain the reason behind ranking Anivia's wall in mid? Because that's what it is. It either does... Well, maybe we can put Anivia's wall in question mark, question mark, question mark? But... I don't know. We could put it, I guess. Because it's another one of those abilities that can either help your team or hurt you depending on how it's used. In which case, oh no, that's good. Yeah, I love it. The 40-ounce mug, I think. Ah, man. Oh, I almost want to like take a break and play a game of League. Let me check Twitter, I guess. 40 ounces should be, I think, a liter and a half. Should be about 2.5, like a liter and a half, give or take. Alright. I think I'm done. Let me spit out the Washington. Alright, we're back. I had to take a quick break, but I mean, hey, do you see how long this is? We're not even halfway done. What do I do? Okay, let's keep going. Mark of the Kindred. Mark of the Kindred is gonna be in pretty solid, I think. It gives attack, not attack speed, it gives attack range. That's about it. Well actually, if it just gives attack range, then... maybe we'll put it in Booty. Because... No, we'll put it in Monkcast. I think it's a pretty bad ability from that. Dance of Arrows. Dance of Arrows is going to be in... I think Booty as well. Without the cooldown reduction on Hunting Wolf or Wolf Frenzy or Wolf Attack, it's not actually that great. Speaking of Wolf Frenzy I think we'll put in maybe Booty as well. It technically does do current health damage, I think, or not current health damage. It technically just does damage and it has a slow attached to it, not to mention it does give you a heal, but it still doesn't really do anything. Mounting Dread on the other hand, I think we'll put it in mid. It's a slow and then an execute at the end, but without the Mark of the Kindred, it doesn't really do that much anyway. Lev's Respite, on the other hand, is gonna go in question mark, question mark, question mark, and I think there's a very clear indication why. Cled's gonna have Scarl. This Scarl by itself, I think we'll put it in Busted, because you get free max health. You just get free health, and then after you drop below a threshold, you get more. You get like a temporary disengage. I do believe you do less damage while dismounted. I'm not sure if that's like a Cled thing or if that's more of a... I'm not really entirely sure, but other champions could technically still use Cled passive. Wait, Roman, really? Ivern Brush disappears if his team doesn't have vision in it? Is that true? I didn't actually know that. No, I'm pretty sure Ivern Brushes... No, I'm fairly certain Ivern's Brush... Really? They stay, yeah. I'm pretty sure they stay. It's like a... Yeah, they stay. It's just time gated. Anyways, Bear Trap on a Rope. Bear Trap on a Rope will put in pretty solid. It does a lot of damage and has healing mitigation onto it. Then you have the Shotgun, Pocket Pistol. Pocket Pistol is gonna be in mid. It doesn't really do that much damage, but it's a good disengage tool. You got Violent Tendencies. Violent Tendencies I'll put in pretty solid. It does max health damage and it gives you essentially Halo Blades. It's basically Halo Blades, but it's okay. Jousting, I'm gonna put Jousting in pretty solid. It's a free target dash that if it does attach to a target, lets you dash again for infinite range. Or not infinite range, but I think like a pretty substantial amount. Then you got Charge. Charge is going to be pretty solid. It's a good ability, but I think a couple things can get in the way of it. You can't cancel it for one. Acadian Surprise. Did they make Acadian Surprise scale now? I have to check. It doesn't. Or no, wait. Kog'Maw. No, they did. They updated it now, right? I'm fairly certain Kog'Maw has... Hang on, I gotta find it in League of Legends, though. Kog'Maw. No. Huh. I could have swore they changed it to where... I guess not, okay. Then it's still a terrible ability. Caustic Spittle. Caustic Spittle is going to be... probably booty. It does have the free attack speed and it does shred resistance, but compared to like Kale's where did I put Kale's Radiant Blast? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Right here. I think Caustic Spittle being a single target attack is not that great. Then you have Bioarcane Barrage. Bioarcane Barrage, on the other hand, is a good ability. I think I'm gonna put it in pretty solid. Voidoo's I'll also put in pretty solid. Good for control. Good for just general damage and poke. Oh man, my throat is giving out. Living Artillery or Living Weapon. I think it's Living Artillery. Living Artillery is going to be in pretty solid. It's a good long range execute or a good long range attack tool, but it does get pretty mana consuming. Cassante. Cassante is gonna be... okay. Dauntless Vanguard, is that what it's called? The Dauntless Instinct. There we go. Dauntless Instinct we're gonna be putting into probably booty. It does do like a tiny bit of percent health damage, but that's it. We got Natolfo Strikes. Natolfo Strikes is gonna be mid because you do have to build armor and health if you want to like actually get more out of it. So I'll put it in mid, or I might put it in pretty solid. Well, okay, Cassante's passive, the issue with it is that it doesn't do that much damage. Like it's like 2%. So you have to get a lot of ability procs to actually get the most out of it, and you have to attack as well. So, well, in ultimate form, J-Place, but remember, you're not getting your ultimate. You're not getting all out, it's in a vacuum, unless the ultimate is obligatory. Or, wait, what if it is attached to a steroid ultimate like Renekton, or Riven, or Yasuo? Like, maybe we could bring it up a little bit more. I'm putting it in mid. Yeah, because if other steroid ultimates could have that property, then it could be a lot better because it then increases to true damage. Or no, that's pre-nerf Cassante. Cassante, let me just check. It's still physical damage. I think it's just doubled, right? Oh no, it scales with armor and magic resist. Okay, I mean, I'll still put it in mid, I think. Then you have Pathmaker. Pathmaker is going to be pretty solid. It does, it's a damage mitigation, and then it also is a stun, and a bunch of other things attached to it. You got Footwork. Footwork is going to be in pretty solid. I don't know, because without the target dash, it's not actually that much. Like I would much rather have like Lee Sin W safeguard, but it does scale. And it's a short cooldown. We'll put it in pretty solid, I think. And then All Out. All Out is, I think you'll just get the active and then the stat conversion. In which case, All Out will put in pretty solid because, like, imagine if you had, I don't know, friggin' like Maokai or something with this ability, that'd be funny. But we'll see. It's a hard champion to navigate because Cassante is a very contextual champion. Like, you need to have all of his abilities to make it work, but pretty solid. Might be a good spot to put it, maybe. Why is J4Z not good? J4Z is only good because of his Q. By itself, it's just like a tiny bit of damage. It gives vision and attack speed. Like, that's not bad, but it just does nothing. Like, you're essentially only getting attack speed. But if you had the EQ, then yeah, it'd be a good ability. But it's otherwise not that great. Maybe I'll put it in like booty tier. But again, it's hard to really say if it's like, if it has applications outside. Like, is there a reason to want to take this over any other E ability? Not really, right? Because if you want attack speed, you can go like Kaisa's Supercharge or something instead. Deceive, or was Illusion? Is that what's called? Hang on, let me find it. LeBlanc. LeBlanc is a mirror image. There we go. Mirror image is probably Monkhouse. I don't think people. I mean, there's usage. It does work. We'll put booty. I think we'll do booty. Sigil of Malice is a good ability because it can be detonated by your other attacks. So I think we'll put it in mid. It might be like it's a perfectly middle of the road ability. Distortion, on the other hand, is gonna be goated. This move is crazy good. Like, it's 2 dashes, or it's a dash and then a blink, and then you have the freedom to decide if you want to use it or not. And it's also a damaging tool. Then you got Ethereal Chains. Ethereal Chains is going to be pretty solid. It's better than Karma's W because of the higher range. It has more range. It's not point and click, but it has more range and it does more damage. Then you got Mimic. Mimic is going to be in Busted tier because you get to recast one of your basic abilities for a little bit more damage. Lee Sin's Flurry is gonna be... I mean, outside of an energy champion, you don't get the energy, but you do get attack speed. But it's still just worse than Bel'Veth, I think, so I'll put it in booty. Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike, on the other hand, is definitely going to be in goated. Sonic Wave is great. Safeguard is also a goated ability. A lot of usage from it. And then you got Tempest. Tempest is going to be mid. It's free damage in an area, not too bad. Oh right, Safeguard also comes with Iron Will, so that makes it even better. In which case, I might put Safeguard a little bit higher because other champions can heal a lot more from it. Then you have Dragon's Rage, which could be, I'll put it in Golden as well. I think it's a good ability. Leona's Sunfire? Is that what it's called? I think it might be Sunfire. Or Sunburst, something like that. We'll put that in probably mid. It just makes it so your abilities cause allies to do bonus damage when they hit. It's not that great. Shield of Daybreak, on the other hand, is going to be goated. It's a point and click stun. Like, what more can you want? It's not as good as Blitzcrank E, but it has a shorter cooldown, which I think a lot of people prefer. Eclipse is going to be in Pretty solid because it's a burst of damage, but it also gives you armor and magic resist, so it's not bad. Then you have Zenith Blade. Zenith Blade is going to do probably solid. It's definitely a worse version of a Mumu's Bandage Toss, but a Mumu's Bandage Toss is up here, so. Solar Flare is going to be goated. It is a ranged initiating tool, and unlike other ranged initiating tools, this one actually is a little bit more usability to it. Then you have a Dream something. What is this one? What is this called again? Dream Laden Bow. Dream Laden Bow is going to be... Okay, so on one hand, this is super good on a champion that can apply it more frequently. So I might put it in... It's not as good as Blaze. It's not as good as Blaze. We'll say that. Blooming Blows is gonna be in goated because you can also use it on other champions to get like the super speed. Then you got Watch Out Eep. There I said it. I actually said it. We're gonna put it in probably mid. It's alright. It does a lot of damage, but it's really hard to land. Trigger Seed is going to be in mid as well. It's not bad. The reason why Trigger Seed is so scary is because of her ultimate. And for that matter, her ultimate is going to be in Busted because other champions can apply it just as easily. This is the Iceborne zombie thing, whatever it's called. Iceborne zombie, or what is it called? Iceborne subjugation. That's going to be in goated because it is a great snowballing tool. Or I'll put it in pretty solid actually. It only applies after you kill things, so you have to like get through that first. I'll put that in there. And then you got Ice Shard. Ice Shard is going to be in mid. It's okay. It's not that great. It's very short range. Then you got Ring of Frost though. Ring of Frost on the other hand is going to be goated. Instant CC, AoE CC, very great. Glacial Path is not bad, but not great. We're going to put that there. Then we have Frozen Tomb. Frozen Tomb is busted. It's either defense or offense, depending on how you use it. It's great. It's a good point to make, Rusker. Technically, yes, you do need her passive, but we can do it the same as like Kenan's ultimate, where it's like Silas. If Silas uses the ultimate, then it can apply off any of his attacks. So, like for example, Darius, if you use Silas's ultimate with Darius, then he doesn't get the bleed stacks, but he can get the stun from Kenan ultimate. He can get the you know what I mean, right? Like if we just use Silas for ultimate evaluation. Lightslinger. Lightslinger is going to be in pretty solid. If you had more spammable abilities, then you can get a lot more out of that. You got Piercing Light. Piercing Light's going to be in mid. It's just damage. That's it. Not that great, not that bad, but it's usable. Ardent Blaze is kind of booty. It's not that, it doesn't really do much. It just gives you movement speed on hit, but a lot of other attacks do that too. You got Relentless Pursuit. This, on the other hand, you do need Lightslinger. Actually, yeah, you do need Lightslinger to reduce the cooldown. So without that, I'm gonna probably put it in booty right next to Quick Draw for the same reason. It does become manaless at rank 5, but without the cooldown reduction, it is a pretty lame ability. Culling. Culling is going to be in, I think, pretty solid as well. Alright, what's up, Pix? Pix is going to be in... Well, okay, it's on to damage, basically. So, I might put Pix in pretty solid. It's basically on in magic damage. Maybe I'll just put it here instead. Then you got Glitterlance. Glitterlance is mid. Whimsy. Whimsy is going to be in busted. We know why. Help Pix is going to be mid though. Yeah. Wild Growth is going to be goated tier. It's not quite as influential as the abilities up here, but it does still matter. Excuse me. Lux's Illumination, it's the same as Leona's, only she can apply it. Only she herself is the only one who can apply it. We'll put it in mid for the same reason, I think. Then you got Light Binding. Light Binding is goated. It can root 2 people for up to 2 seconds. Very nice. Prismatic Barrier is going to be in pretty solid because it's an AoE shield, and AoE shield is great. Then you have Loosen Singularity. Loosen Singularity is going to be in, I think, pretty solid. It's the same as Barrel Roll, where it has the same exact applications. So we'll do that. We got Final Spark. Final Spark I'll put in pretty solid. It's a lot of damage, but other ultimates can do kind of the same thing. Granite Shield from Malphite. Granite Shield is goated. It's free protection just by chilling for a little bit. Can't go wrong with that. Seismic Shard is also going to be in pretty solid. It's a poke tool that does that gives you speed and slows down the enemy. It's what makes Malphite so annoying, and yeah, it's one of the few poke tools in the game that does a lot of damage. Then you have Thunderclap. Yeah, Thunderclap is going to be in pretty solid because it gives you the armor. It's an on-hit reset that does a lot of damage. It is armor dependent though, but it does make your attacks do AoE damage, and then you can also you also get a bit of armor. You don't get as much because you don't have Granite Shield, but still, it's good. Then you got Ground Slam. Ground Slam is a solid ability because at least one person on the enemy team is bound to be an auto attacker, and in doing so you can slow down their attack speed. Really good. Unstoppable Force is going to be in Busted. It is one of the most iconic super ultimates in the game. Okay, then we have Malzahar. This is Chosen of the Void. No, that's not Chosen of the Void Shift. There we go. Void Shift is going to be, I'd say, pretty solid. I say that because it's too easy to pop the barrier. It's not like Banshees, where it blocks spells only. It can even be blocked by auto attack damage. So, for that reason, I'll put it in pretty solid. Call of the Void is going to be in pretty solid. It's AoE stun, or not stun, silence rather. It's not as good as Cho'Gath because it's a bit more tight with the execution, but it's still pretty good. Then you got Voidlings, I think it's called. Voidlings is not that great. I'll put it in booty probably. Malefic Visions on the other hand is not bad. We'll put it in pretty solid. And then of course, Nether Grasp. Nether Grasp we're going to be putting in goated. I do not put it in busted because you are also paralyzed. And not every champion wants to be paralyzed. But then again, if you gave this to a support, like if, let's say, you replaced Nautilus's ultimate with this, but okay. Stopping you is really annoying though, and if you get cancelled, if you get interrupted, it interrupts the thing. No, I'll put it in goated. I might put it in goated. Alright, Sap Magic. Sap Magic is going to be in Busted. This thing is so much healing. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. You heal way too much with this ability. If you have any champion that can cast a lot of abilities, then this thing makes you invincible. We got Bramble Smash. Bramble Smash is going to be in pretty solid. It's a poke tool, it's an AoE attack, and it is an AoE disruption tool, which makes it really good. I'm actually putting in goated tier. Twisted Advance is also goated. It's on target ability and a point and click route and a dash at the same time. Very nice. Sapling Toss. Sapling Toss I'll put in mid. It's good for control, and if you do build HP, it's free wards. It's basically free wards. So their usage, actually yeah, I'll put it in pretty solid, I think. Maokai's got a lot of really good like individual abilities, and for that matter, Bramble, or what's it called, Nature's Grasp, I think, is goated. This thing is a huge zoning tool. It's a huge like danger pressure tool thing. Gotta definitely respect it. Mimerus, thank you. Mimerus, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I am killing my voice by doing this for you guys. Uju style or double strike. That's double strike. Double strike is going to be in goated. Free 2 auto attacks. It's a bit more consistent than Lucian's Lightslinger, I would say. Where did I put Lightslinger? I put it there. Yeah, I put it a little bit higher. Then you got Alpha Strike. Alpha Strike is also going to be in goated. It's yeah, it's crazy. It's really good. Meditate we're gonna put in mid. Uju style we're going to put in goated because ADCs can use this a lot better than Master Yi. Highlander we're going to put in goated. ADCs I actually also believe will use Highlander a lot more, but also remember that you do get the cooldown reduction or the cooldown refund on takedown, so Highlander is a good ability too. Who is this? Oh, that's Mel! Oh, okay. Mel's passive is going to be in... I'll say mid, because you need a lot of applications of damage. Like Mel's Q is like brrrr, Mel's E is also brrrr, like you need a lot of different applications of damage. But wait. What if we... How would this work with like damage over time like Brand? Or like Rumble, like Mel with Rumble Q. Okay, never mind. We'll put it in pretty solid. Mel's Q is pretty good. We got another good ability, does a lot of damage. Then we have Rebuttal. Rebuttal, you're going right there. Then we have her E. Her E's pretty good. It's an AoE route for a decent amount of time, but in Goated. And then her ultimate is not applicable because you need her passive to even use it. Milio's passive is going to be pretty solid. It's a lot stronger than Lux and Leona's passive, for sure. Then we have the Fireball thing, the Mega Fire Kick something. We'll put that also in maybe mid. We'll put that in mid. It's not bad. We'll put the Cozy Campfire. Cozy Campfire will be in mid as well. It's not bad, I just think other healing abilities would be better. Warm Hugs, on the other hand, is definitely going to be in pretty solid. Then Breath of Life, Breath of Life is going to go in Goated. AoE style or AoE Cleanse is super helpful depending on the team composition, and even without it, I think it does also. Yeah, I think it's okay. It also grants some tenacity as well, so it's not too bad. Does it also give you multi-hit on your basic attack whenever you use an ability? That is true. I think it's deserving of being in pretty solid. Love Tap. Love Tap is going to be in mid. It's okay. Could be better. Double Up is also going to be in mid. It's okay. Could be better. Strut. Strut's great though. Strut I'm going to put in Goated because it's attack speed, movement speed, and passive movement speed. So it's one of the better ones out there. Make a Rain, mid. Or not even. I might even put in a Booty. There are better AoE souls out there. Bullet Time. Bullet Time is going to be in Goated. If you had some champions who could set it up themselves, like if let's say you had Misfortune but then you swapped out the E for like, I don't know, some kind of CC ability, then Bullet Time would be a lot more threatening. Darkness Rise is busted. It's only balanced because it's on Mordekaiser. If you had any other melee champion, like imagine if you had this on Gwen. This is just infinitely better for Gwen than, or not really, but like, you give this to an AP Bruiser, then they would love this so much more. Obliterate. Obliterate is a strong damaging ability, it's really strong. I'll put it in probably Goated. It can do a huge amount of damage, it's cost free, has a short cooldown, it's a strong attack. You got Indestructible. Indestructible is also a strong ability because it's a shield and then it also can be a heal. So it's a 30% max HP shield. Really, really good. Death's Grasp, on the other hand, is kind of mid. You do get magic penetration, but compared to Darius's E, which gives like 40%, Death's Grasp is only 15, so it's not that great. Death Realm, though, is busted. Give this to any champion that can't be kited, and it is disgusting. It's crazy. Morgana Soul Siphon. Soul Siphon is going to be in mid. It is Spell Vamp, but although it's a lot of Spell Vamp. It is a lot of Spell Vamp. So mages could actually abuse it quite well. Dark Binding is going to be Goated. It's a very strong ability. It is easy to dodge, but still. Tormented Shadow. Tormented Shadow is going to be probably Booty. It's only good if you have a long route like Morgana. Is this face reveal? I have done face reveals so many times, guys. How many more do you need? This is like the 47th face reveal I've done. Guys, how many more face reveals do you need? Look in my face. Like, oh my goodness. Black Shield. Black Shield is busted. I'm gonna put that there. And then Soul Shackles. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Soul Shackles is gonna be in pretty solid, or it's gonna be a mid. Like, they're just better. Like a Mumu ultimate. Just go Mumu ultimate, basically. We Are More. We Are More is tricky. I'm gonna put it in booty because without the rest of her kit to manipulate it, it's not that great. Dark and Daggers, on the other hand, though, I'm gonna put in pretty solid because it is healing. It is healing. Hound's Pursuit is mid. It's a decent dash ability, but there are better ones out there. It is known for. You should definitely note the fact that it does have a lot of range. Although at the same time, the range is dependent on the ultimate scaling, so I'll put it in booty. Eviscerate is a worse Kane E, so I'm gonna put it in maybe booty. And then the Call of the Pack, we can assume it just spawns a bunch of dogs like how Silas does, and it does give you shield and movement speed and vision of everybody, so I'll put it in mid. People would much rather have Aatrox ultimate, but I still think it's not that bad. Okay, this is Nami, Surging Tides. Surging Tides is going to be in pretty solid. Other champions can probably get this more often. Like, hypothetically, Milios Cozy Campfire with Surging Tides. Good point to think about. Aqua Prison. Aqua Prison is going to be in pretty solid. It's an AoE stun and levitation airborne thing. Then we got Ebb and Flow. Ebb and Flow is also a pretty solid ability. Then you got Tide Color Blessing. Tide Color Blessing is going to be in mid. And then Tidal Wave is going to be in Goated. It's like Maokai ultimate with a little bit more demand, a little bit less payout. Soul Siphon. Soul Siphon is going to be in... It's not as good as Morgana's... Where's Morgana? As Morgana's... Oh no, this is Soul Eater, rather. Soul Siphon is better than Soul Eater, so I'll put Soul Eater here in mid. Then we're going to do Siphoning Strike. Siphoning Strike I'm going to put as... I'll put it as mid. Like, if it's scaled off of anything except stacks, then maybe, but it's... Like, you need the ultimate for it to be really that much worse. Wither is busted. We'll put Wither and busted. I think we're all cool with that. Soulfire. Okay, so, or Spiritfire. Spiritfire, I'm actually going to put in Goated. I say that because people forget that Spiritfire shreds all armor by 50% for anyone who stands inside it. Like, I don't think people realize just how crazy that is. It halves the entire enemy team's armor. You know how much stats that is for a lot of people? Like, Spiritfire could do a lot. And if you also account for the fact that it's, like, okay, if you put this on a mage, you put Spiritfire on a mage who actually builds AP, that's a lot of freaking damage. Like, Spiritfire is actually a good ability. And then as for Fury of the Sands, Fury of the Sands is going to be in Goated. It is definitely the strongest steroid buff. It's stronger than Renekton's because it does max health damage. It halves your Q cooldown. It could be anyone's Q cooldown. It's bonus armor and magic resist as well. So, yeah, we'll put that in Goated. Okay, Nautilus's Staggering Blow is going to be Goated. You just CC your opponent every so often. Like, what more can you ask for? Dredgeline is going to be in Goated as well. It's not Blitzcrank, but it's still pretty good. Then you have Titan's Wrath. Titan's Wrath is going to be in, I'd say, pretty solid, or Goated or solid. I'm gonna say solid. Riptide is gonna be mid. They nerfed the damage of this ability so much. It actually used to do a lot of damage. And then you have Depth Charge. Depth Charge is busted. Point and click long range CC that can also attack other enemies on the way there. Nico's Inherent Glamour. Oh, just imagine, like, an assassin with this. I'm gonna put him busted. That's my hot take of the day. I'm gonna put him busted. Blooming Burst. Blooming Burst is gonna be, it's mid. Does a lot of damage, but you need some kind of CC with it. Shapeshifter is Goated. It is bonus on hit damage every third attack, and it's a pretty good, like, oh, what do? I gotta get away from, danger. It's pretty good. Then you have Tangle Whip or Tangle Barbs. Tangle Barbs is going to be in I'll put it in goaded. I'll put it in goaded. Pretty good. Pop Blossom. Pop Blossom is going to be in goaded as well. It's not as valuable as a Mumu ultimate. I still think a Mumu's ultimate's a bit better. Pop Blossom does do more damage, but the wind up, right? There's the wind up. Nidalee's Prowl. Prowl is it's booty. I mean, more movement speed when you're in a brush, but not really that great. Javelin Toss I also think is kind of mid. It does a lot of damage, but it's notoriously hard to land. Then you got Bushwhack. Bushwhack is going to be in booty. It's only there, I'll put it in Monkcast. It's only there to get Prowl activated. Without Prowl, Bushwhack does nothing. Primal Surge though is good. It gives you attack speed and healing. I'll put it in pretty solid. Then we'll put, oh, it's a Cougar transformation. An aspect of the Cougar. Does it just do anything or is it just transform? Okay. Not applicable. Okay, this is Takedown. Takedown is a solid ability. It does more damage based on target's missing health. It's not missing health damage, it's just more damage, but it's a lot. Oh wait, but without Prowl, never mind. Without Prowl, then probably mid. I think Elisa's Q is better than in that regard. Then you got Pounce. Pounce is also, you need Prowl, but it does have a low cooldown. Pounce is only a cooldown of like 6 seconds. So maybe we'll put it in booty still. It's not that much. Swipe is also... No, Swipe doesn't need Prowl to work. You could put it in mid. It's an AoE damaging attack. Neela. Neela's passive is going to be in goaded. It's free healing and shielding boost, and also it's also free experience. Then you got Q, the Formless Blade. Formless Blade is crazy broken on, ironically, other champions besides Neela. Like, actually wait, if it's attached to a ranged champion, how would that work? Because, well, either way, it's busted. But imagine if you had her Q on a ranged champion, like, or even a melee champion's broken. Dude, you get armor penetration and lifesteal based on crit chance. Like, dude, imagine a Tryndamere had this. No, not really. You get the idea. It's a good ability. It's a good ability. Jubilant Veil is going to be in busted. There we go. Slipstream. Slipstream is going to be in goaded because it's 2 dashes, free target dashes that you can store, which is a plus. It's a big plus. Then you got Apotheosis. Apotheosis is going to be in pretty solid. It's a slightly worse Orianna ultimate, I would say. Yeah. Okay, we got Nocturne. Umbral Blades. Umbral Blades is going to be in mid. It's okay. Dustbringer. Dustbringer is going to be also in mid. It's okay. You got Shroud of something. Shroud of Darkness. It's going to be in pretty solid. It's a spell shield. Pretty good. Then you got Unspeakable Horror. That's going to be in goaded. There is a tether timer to it, and it's not as generous as Karma and LeBlanc, but the fear duration is like 2.5 seconds long. It's insane. Paranoia is in busted. Great macro pressure, great attacking tool, things like that. This is a Call of the Freljord, I believe, a Nunu's passive. It's going to be in mid. Most of the time, I don't think people even realize that they have it. Consume. Consume is pretty solid. It's damage, it's a lot of healing, and it's a way to secure objectives. Very good for a jungler. Biggest snowball ever is goaded. This is a great engage tool, and it's a great ganking tool. It's annoying, and I love it. They got Snowball Barrage. I'll put that in goaded because it's technically an AoE stun, or AoE root rather. There's a lot of value to that. And then Absolute Zero we'll put in pretty solid because even though it's like, oh, you can interrupt it, they like to say that all the time, you can interrupt it. Do they not realize how much pressure it puts on teams when they see it though? Like, it's a good ability. Neela ult heals herself and the people inside of it though, yes, but it's still... It's like an Orianna ult that you cannot position. Or I guess technically Orianna without her ball can't position her ultimate either, but... it doesn't do as much damage, I don't think. Olaf's Berserker Rage is going to be in goaded because it's a better Nasus passive. It's basically better Nasus passive. Then you got Undertow. Undertow is a good ability because it's a armor shred, it's a projectile, it's a slow, and it resets cooldown. Good for wave clearing too. Then you got Tough It Out. Tough It Out is a solid ability. I think it's a solid ability. It gives you attack speed and it gives a shield, but the shield value is actually not that big. They nerfed it a lot. Reckless Swing is going to be in mid. It's true damage, but it's not that great, really. Ragnarok, on the other hand, we're putting it busted. The ball, or this is Clockwork Windup actually. Clockwork Windup is just auto attacks. That like you do more damage if you attack the same target, but it's not that great otherwise. Now, command moves, we're gonna put them all here. No, dissonance you can technically use on yourself. So dissonance will put in probably booty, because without being able to position it, you lose a lot of utility from it. Command protect, can we just assume that it shields a person? Like it shields a person or yourself, in which case it will be in pretty solid. Shockwave is also going to be in pretty solid. I think without the ability to remotely position it, it does knock it down a few pegs. Then oh wait, Ornn, oh hell yeah dude, Living Forge? Wait, Living Forge? No, okay, without the brittle effect though. Oh, but Living Forge is so good. No, you can buy items. You can buy freaking items, dude. No, forget, dude. You can buy items. You can upgrade items. You get free armor, magic resistant HP. No. This passive is horseshit, my guy. Like, yeah, shopping. Literally shopping. Volcanic Rupture is gonna be mid. It's a poke tool. It slows and has like a little thing that sticks out. That's what she said. All right. You got Volcanic or Bellows Breath. Well, Bellows Breath is going to be in probably goated. It does a lot of damage. It's the brittle effect is like the percent health damage knockback and things like that. Pretty good, and it also makes you unstoppable too. Searing Charge is gonna be pretty solid. It has a very long knockup duration at base. I think it's like 1.5 seconds or 1.25 seconds. It's almost Malphite ultimate actually. It's got some wind up and it's kind of clunky at times, but it's still really good. It's still really good. And Call of the Forge God is also going to be a goated move. This is another one of those moves where there's a lot of counterplay to it, but it scares a lot of people. Like just the mental pressure it puts on people is incredible. Pantheon's Mortal Will. This does nothing. It does nothing without Pantheon. Comet Spear. Comet Spear is going to be in pretty solid because, you know, you got the jab, and let's just assume excuse me, to be fair with it, let's just assume you can get the 5 stacks on it, right? Wait, no, that would be broken, because if other champions had more spammable abilities, then you can get empowered attacks or empowered effects that skew much more. But even the base version is not that bad because it's like a stab, it's like Yasuo and Yonagyu, just pew, and then you can also throw it. It's a good ability. Shield Vault is gonna be goated. It's a point and click stun. A point and click dash stun. How many more of those abilities are there? I think this is like the best one. Maybe Maokai's W, but like I think Shield Vault is better. Aegis Assault is going to be encoded as well. It's targeted direction invincibility. You can block a ton of damage, and this ability alone makes certain matchups unplayable for a lot of characters. Like Garen or Darius, like if they don't pull or silence you before you use it, then they can't ult. So. Bonk, I disagree. Even without Mortal Will, Shield Vault and Aegis Assault are still good. Grand Skyfall or Starfall. Grand Starfall is also going to be goated. It's a global teleport. It's not Paranoia levels of good, but it's still really good. Probably also because it has the highest range out of any semi-global ultimate, I think. I'm pretty sure it's farther than TF's ultimate. Poppy, Iron Ambassador. Iron Ambassador is going to be in pretty solid. It's a good ranged harass tool, but the shield is not as consistent as Camille's. Got Hammer Shock. Hammer Shock is actually pretty solid. It does a lot of damage. Like, we're talking, I think, almost like 18% max health damage if you get hit by both of it. Steadfast Presence is going to be goated. This thing is good not just for the stun or the dash interruption, but also for the oh, who's messaging? Yeah, but also for the armor magic resist, the movement speed, and yeah, things like that. So it's pretty good. Got Heroic Charge is going to be in pretty solid. It's a very consistent dash and engage tool, and there are walls everywhere around the map. You can use it quite often. Keeper's Verdict is also pretty solid. I don't think you can really blame anything. Like now that they made it so the knockup doesn't make the target untargetable, like you can still attack them with it, there's more usage with this kit. Pike, Gift of the Drawn Ones. Gift of the Drawn Ones is going to be pretty solid. I don't like that you can't get max health, but it's still good because you get attack damage equal to a portion of bonus attack, or opponent bonus health rather. And the stored gray health is not that bad, but the fact that they nerfed it to make it only for like 2v2s or like 1v2, that's where it gets kind of difficult, but still, it's pretty good. Ah, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, we're almost there. Or not really, but we have to hurry up. Bone Skewer is worse IMO than the other hook abilities. Ghost Water Dive is a pretty solid ability still. I think it's good. Phantom Undertow is goated. Not really actually, because you do need to build lethality, but even with, well, assassins can use it, so goated. Then Death from Below is gonna be pretty solid, I think. Yeah, maybe not, or maybe higher. It could be higher. I'll put it in goated. This is a Royal Privilege. Royal Privilege is going to be... What the hell is this without the rest of her kit? Oh, basic attacks do additional damage. Right, it's worse than Martial Cadence, so I will put it in booty. Then you got Ixtal's Edge. Ixtal's Edge is by itself? Wait, can you even use this without... Okay, yeah, you can use this without her W, but yeah. Alright, Terror Shape is... You just get the attack speed and then the dash, which is also kind of bad, so I'll put that there. Audacity is gonna be probably mid. It's a dashing ability. Now, of course, Supreme Display of Talent, on the other hand, we're gonna be putting in goated, because that thing is great. It does damage, it is a huge AoE attack, and it does a lot. Harrier. Harrier is going to be in booty, because without the rest of Quinn's kit, it's not that great. Blinding Assault is also not that bad. I'm going to put Blinding Assault in pretty solid. Heightened Senses is booty, because without Harrier, you can't get the full value of the attack speed and movement speed thing. Vault, on the other hand, we're putting in goated. It's a great ability, and it's so annoying. It's what makes Quintop so obnoxious. Then you have Behind Enemy Lines. I'm going to put Behind Enemy Lines in pretty solid, because it gives you essentially super mobies. You want to do this for all skins? I can also help with that one. I'm good. I'm not really a skin guy. Talk to Nikki about that one though. Rakan's Fae Feathers. Rakan's Fae Feathers will put in pretty solid. It's, in my opinion, not as good as Malphite's Granite Shield. Did I put Malphite's Granite Shield in up here or no? I think Granite Shield's a bit more reliable. Quill Feather, I think it's called, or Quill, Gleaming Quill? Bright Quill? I'm gonna put that in, put in mid. It's okay. Could be better. Grand Entrance, on the other hand, is gonna be goated. Same with, what'd I do? Wait, what'd I do? Where'd it go? Huh? Wait. Where did I put... Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Then we have Battle Dance. Battle Dance is also going to be goated because it's least in Safeguard, just not as good. Then we got the Quickness. The Quickness is busted. It's a Wombo Combo Ultimate. Rammus, Spiked Shell. This is booty. It is so useless. It's only good on him because it's armor based, but just get more. Yeah, like Powerball, on the other hand, I'm gonna put Powerball and goated. Powerball is great. Defensive Ball Curl is going to be in mid. It's okay. Like, it's alright. I mean, you don't get the... Actually, no, wait. You don't get the... Well, you get the Thornmail, the Armored Magic Resist, but you don't also get the Spike Shell damage bonus. Oh, wait, you don't get Spike Shell at all. Never mind. Okay, so then I'm going to put that in booty. Frenzying Taunt, on the other hand, is a goated ability. It's a point and click stun. Or point and click, it's effectively a point and click stun. Even though, yes, it's only good on the fact that it's on Rammus, I still think the taunt is important. It's essentially stun. And then you have Soaring Slam. Soaring Slam is booty because you don't have the knockup that goes with it without Powerball. This is going to be Fury of the Zersai. It does not work without her burrow. So, yeah. It doesn't do anything without Burrow. Queen's Wrath is going to be mid. It's just 3 auto attacks, it does more damage. I think Skarnus is a little bit better, but there we go. Then you have Burrow, which can be used without the rest of her kit. In which case I'll put it as pretty solid because the vision control of like the tremor sense and then the knockup that comes after, it's not bad, and you can always attach a different dash to it, like let's say Wukong dash. Then you have Furious Bite. Furious Bite is a terrible ability without Fury, so I'll put it in Bombcast. Then you have Void Rush. Void Rush is going to be in Goated. It is a point and click dash that is unstoppable and has Execute. Ray Seeker is going to be in mid. It's a good seeking tool, as the name implies, but it doesn't really do that much after. I might even put it in Booty. Then you have Unburrow. Well, Unburrow will attach next to Burrow, I guess. Tunnel is great. Tunnel gives you reusable dashes and good map traversability, so put in Goated. This is Rel. Rel's Break the Mold. Did they change it from her last effect? We'll put Break the Mold in mid tier. Shattering Strike. Does this still destroy shields? Or did they change it to they changed it to heal, didn't they? Well, lol. They changed it to heal as well. No. Why did they change? Where did the healing thing come from? I swear Rel's Q healed. Or... did Rel's Q heal at one point? I'm fairly certain Rel's Q used to heal. It used to, I see. But now this one is a stun. The stun's great. So Shattering Strike, where did I put it? Where the hell did I put it? Oh, Shattering Strike is gonna go in Goated, because if you put this on an AP champion, it actually can do a lot. So put that there. Then you have Ferromancy, Crash Down and Mount Up. We're gonna put them together. Both of them are gonna go in Goated because Ferromancy is great. Oh wait. Oh no, that's a Full Tilt. Full Tilt is gonna be I miss Attract and Repel. I prefer Attract and Repel. I'm gonna just say it. I prefer Attract and Repel. Put Full Tilt in Booty tier. Magnus Storm we'll put in mid. It's better if we just had like, you know, maybe Diana or something else like that. It would be better. Or any kind of AoE ultimate like Oriana or Malphite would be so much better than that. But there's functionality to it. Okay, alright, we're getting there. Oh my god, this is so long. Renata is going to be Leverage. Leverage is kind of mid. It does a lot of damage, or it does like percent health damage, but it's so small. Like, it's so minuscule that you don't even notice. Handshake, on the other hand, is goated. Good for positioning, good for control. We have Bailout, which is also goated. Bailout's great. A lot of damage, a lot of DPS. Then you have Loyalty Program, which is a solid ability because it can attack and shield all enemies. I think it's a bit better than Lux's W. Hostile Takeover is busted. Reign of Anger is gonna be in NA because it's just a description. That's all it does. Call of the Meek by itself, without the empowered version, is going to be booty. Because, yeah, by itself it's booty. Even the upgraded version, the empowered version one would only be like mid at best. Ruthless Predator without the empowered version is also is mid. It's mid. It's not that great. You need the empowered version for it to be really scary. Slice and Dice, on the other hand, though, I will say is pretty solid. It's 2 dashes. Not that bad. And then Fury or Dominus. Dominus is gonna be in Goated. I say that because even though it doesn't have the same range of defensive utility as Nasus, it actually does a lot more damage, because if you stand in the damaging aura for the whole time, I think if you build AP, like if you attach this to Silas, he gets so much value out of Dominus because of how much damage it does. So that's one thing people forget about, is that Renekton's ultimate does damage. A lot of damage. Unseen Predator is in Busted because you can jump out of brushes. So there you go. And then we have Savagery. Savagery is going to be in probably mid. Without the empowered one, you don't get that much out of it, but it is still damage and a short cooldown to boot. Battle Roar is going to be a solid ability. Without the cleanse, again, it sucks, but you still get the healing out of it, and you can still technically go AP Rengar or AP whatever champion you're building. Bola Strike is booty. Without the root, it makes it functionally unusable. And then you have Thrill of the Hunt, which for the purposes of this ultimate, I'm going to give it the dash that comes with it. Then we'll put it in Goated. That too, you also get AD Rabadons, that too. Runic Blade. Runic Blade is going to be in pretty solid. You get a lot of damage, and if you can smash abilities on the champion, then you get a lot of damage on top of that, not too bad. Then you have Broken Wings. Broken Wings is going to be in Goated, no complaints there. You have Key Burst. Key Burst is also going to be in Goated because it's an AoE stun, which it's not as long as Lysandre's Ring of Frost. Where is it? Right here. It doesn't have as long of a duration, but it's a full stun. Then you have Valor. Valor is a dash and a shield. I'm also going to put it in Goated. And then you have Blade of the Exile, which in my opinion is actually not that great. I'm going to put it in mid tier. I think, actually, you know what? I'm going to put Rengar Savagery probably in booty. I say that because all it does is give you more damage and more attack range. And then I think it gives you more attack range on your Q and W as well, maybe. But the Wind Slash, you're essentially only getting attack damage and Wind Slash. Aatrox's ultimate is so much better. Let's get Aatrox's ultimate. Junkyard Titan is usable without Rumble. No, it isn't, because it's no, you can't use it. Flame Spitter at base is still a good ability. It sucks to not have the empowered version, but it's still a decent ability. Then you have Scrap Shield, which is a terrible ability by itself. I might even put it here, but there's still usability to it. Electro Harpoon, on the other hand, does have usage because Electro Harpoon does shred MR, which is not bad. Then you have Equalizer. Equalizer's busted. It's one of the best teamfight abilities in the game, and the fact that it has such a long range is what makes it so good as well. Okay, Rise. Arcane Mastery. You get more mana for your AP. It's booty. Like, you don't need that. Not that many champions need this passive, if at all. Overload is a... booty ability. It does have the property of resetting if you use any of your other abilities, so it'll still carry on over to a different champion, but without the EQ bonus, it doesn't do that much. Oh, you do still get the movement speed as well. Maybe mid? Put it in mid tier. Rune Prison without the E makes it a terrible ability, and then Spell Flux without any of the other abilities makes it a terrible ability. So, or no, wait, Spell Flux. Could we make it so any other spell that marks that hits the flux also does a spread damage? Because in that case, it would be here. Because imagine if you could do this with imagine if you could do this with what's an ability, like a single target ability, like Annie Q. You do Annie Q, or like LeBlanc, like when LeBlanc had, like, she had the old Sigil mouse. Then like Spell Flux can cause that jump to do the same thing, right? Or is that just oh, never mind. That's only an overload thing. Yeah, only overload has to do it. So then in that case, Moncast, it's a terrible ability. Realm Warp, I'm gonna say booty. It has usage even without the damage bonus on the Q, but it's still just not that great. Okay, so Daredevil Impulse can be used without the rest of Samir's kit, but it's not that great. I'm gonna put it in booty. I think you get movement speed and then the follow-up on NECC, but that's it. Yeah. Then you got Flare. Flare is a good ability though because it can give you an AoE attack that it gives you an AoE attack and a bullet for a short cooldown, and I think it also has it has no mana cost, right? No, it does have a mana cost. Never mind. We'll put it in mid then. We have Blade Whirl. Blade Whirl is going to be in Busted. No complaints there. Then we have Wild Rush. Wild Rush is going to be in pretty solid. It does have the reset mechanic as well, which makes it not too bad. But I do think losing the passive or losing the ability to dash through allies is pretty rough. Then you have Inferno Trigger. Now the question is, excuse me. Inferno Trigger, can it work without Style? Like, how does it work with Silas? I think Silas can still use it, right? So Inferno Trigger will be wait, Silas doesn't need to build combo, he could just press the button right away? Or let's assume you have to attack 6 times. We'll just assume you have to attack 6 times. Then we'll put it in Goated. Sejuani's Frost Armor. Frost Armor is going to be in pretty solid. It's a lot of resistances, making you practically invincible. Or this is Fury of the North, or is that what it's called? It used to be Frost Armor, but it does give you a lot of resistances, which makes her effectively it gives her Malzahar passive, but instead of CC immunity, it lasts longer, and it also gives you slow immunity and cripple immunity. One more thing is that anytime you stun enemies, then your next attack does max health damage. So if you give this to another champion with a stun, then Frost Armor is actually pretty good. Arctic is... oh, what did I do? No! Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, cookies. God bless cookies. Thank God for cookies. I had a jump scare there. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. If cookies weren't a thing, I would be... oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, Arctic Assault is pretty solid. It's not as good as Gragas's Body Slam because it only hits like one target. Although it does have the benefit of powering through minions, so it's not that bad, but it doesn't have a cooldown refund that Body Slam does, and so I'll put it there. Winter's Wrath is not bad, it's a good damaging ability for tanks, so I'm going to put it in mid. You got Permafrost. Permafrost is great because it's the stun, and you don't get the bonus attack that comes from her passive with it, but it still has a lot of usage. I mean, I think it's really good. Glacial Prison, it's a ranged... it used to be a ranged Malphite ultimate, now it only hits one person, but it's still a good ability. It's a projectile, it's kind of the same thing as, it's a weaker version of Nautilus ultimate, I think, but it's much faster, so. Absolution. Absolution's going to be in Busted. You get tons of different things. There's so much. It's a better Jhin passive, essentially. Then you get Piercing Darkness. Piercing Darkness is pretty solid. It's not that great, not that bad. And it does a little bit of everything. Can't really ask for more. You get Last Embrace. Last Embrace is going to be in Goated. It is an AoE CC. Could be pretty good. I still think it's not like as good as like other ones, but it is an AoE CC for a long duration as well. You gotta respect it. Then you got Curse of the Black Mist. Curse of the Black Mist is going to be in mid. It's alright. Then Dawning Shadow is going to be in mid as well. Of all the... actually no, I'll put it a bit higher. It's not quite as good in my opinion as Super Mega Death Rocket, but it does have the added benefit of protecting your team. Not just damaging the enemy, but protecting your team. Got Stage Presence. Busted. You get to double cast any of your abilities. Like, there it is. High Note, without Stage Presence, is a booty ability. Same with Surround Sound. Surround Sound without Stage Presence is a booty ability. Beat Drop without Surround Sound is a booty ability. Well, Stage Presence is a bit better. Encore, on the other hand, is going to be Busted. It's great. Okay, sets Pit Grit. Pit Grit. Hot take. I'm gonna say hot take. Pit Grit is fucking broken. Like, This thing is disgusting. You give this to a ranged champion, bro, you get perma health regeneration, and then your next attack does like an extra like... Your next attack does like an extra freaking like 70% more damage. Dude, Pick Grid is disgusting. It is crazy. This is like this is like Akshan passive, but like this is just as good as Akshan passive. I don't care what anyone says. Knuckle Down is gonna be in pretty solid. It's basically better Rengar Q, or it's basically a better Rengar Q, because you get 2 attacks, but the attacks do max health damage, and you also get movement speed. Haymaker's gonna be in Busted. Other champions could use this so much better. If you have a point and click stun, or like an AoE stun, and Haymaker, dude, Haymaker's disgusting. And then you got Facebreaker. Facebreaker's a good ability. It's still a good ability, and it's got a lot of teamfight value to it, and you can also find champions to position yourself really well with it. Showstopper is going to be in Goated. It turns the enemy's front line against them. That is so valuable. And it has a lot of usage too, and outplay potential. Shaco's Backstab is going to be mid. It's alright. It's not that great, not that bad. Deceive is busted. I hate this thing. Jack in the Box is also busted. I think that's the first champion besides like Seraphine and Set to have 2 abilities in busted tier, right? Oh no, Karthus has... no. Kale has 2. Kennen also has 2. Okay, never mind. And then 2 Shift Poison is going to be mid. It's alright. And then Hallucinate. I'm actually gonna put Hallucinate in busted as well, because you give this to Vayne. Give it to Vayne? Please? Yes. Shaco is a horseshit champion. Shen's Key Barrier is also busted. If you give this to a champion who can spam abilities, yes. And then you got Twilight Blade or Twilight Assault is gonna be in pretty solid. It's a good ability, it's not bad. Spirit Refuge is a goated ability. I don't think it's as goated as Neela's Jubilant Veil, because it's a little bit harder to use with the Spirit Blade positioning, but still really good. Oh, my throat's giving out. We gotta hurry. Come on, we're almost there. Twilight, or Shadow Dash. Shadow Dash is going to be in Goated. It's an AoE stun, or AoE taunt, and it can pass through minions as well. It's really good. Then you got, Stand United is busted. One of the best abilities in the game, period. Shyvana, Fury of the Dragonborn. His monk ass is so bad. Twin Spite, I'll put Twin Spite in mid. I think mid's acceptable. Burnout, we're gonna put it also in mid, it's acceptable. Flame Breath, we can put it also in mid, it's acceptable. And then Dragon Ascent is the dash and then the healing. Or the dash and then the max health increase. So... and attack range. I'll put that in mid. Shyvana's Key is just that mid, individually. Singed, Slipstream. Noxious Slipstream is going to be in pretty solid. A lot of champions can make use of it. Then you got Poison Trail. Poison Trail is going to be in Goated. This move is crazy. It is so good. You got Mega Adhesive, which is also a pretty solid ability. Then you got Fling, which is a goated friggin' ability. This thing is crazy good. Like, Singed is such a stupid broken champion. If we just look at an individual, but dude, Insanity Potion? Insanity Potion is goated. He has such a good toolkit, but when you put them together, it has such a degenerate playstyle that it just doesn't result in a good champion. Sion's Glory and Death is, I'll say mid. It's an okay ability, but you gotta build a lot of health for it to actually matter, and a lot of champions don't. Decimating Smash, I'm gonna put in pretty solid. It's a good wave clear tool, area control tool, harass tool, it's a CC tool, it's a great tool. Soul Furnace is busted. It is so broken, bro. Holy crap. You get this to a champion with good wave clear? Ooh. Here we go. Roar of the Slayer is going to be mid. It's alright. And then Unstoppable Onslaught is also going to be mid. Okay, Silver, Fleet of Foot. Fleet of Foot's going to be in, probably Booty. I actually don't think it's that great. Boomerang Blade, however, is a solid ability. It does a lot of damage, and it has a lot of range and coverage. Ricochet. Ricochet is also a solid ability, I would say. Not too bad. Spell Shield is, I'm going to put in the same tier as Nocturnes, where it's a solid ability, not that bad. And then On the Hunt is going to be a goated ability. Team-wide movement speed increase is super helpful. Skarner, Threads of Vibration is going to be in mid. Shattered Earth is going to be in pretty solid. It's better Rek'Sai. It's a better Rek'Sai Q, essentially. Then you have Seismic Bastion, which is also mid. The shield value is pretty lousy, but it's compensated by having a short cooldown, so I'm okay with that. Then you have Ixtal's Impact, which I think is also, I would say it's a pretty solid ability. I used to think it wasn't that great, but it has grown on me a little bit, so I think I can tolerate it in solid tier. Then you have Impale. Impale is going to be goated. This move is crazy, and if you can do so much with it now, especially that you have the AoE Impale. You could get 3 targets. Smolder. Now let me check. Smolder, if I remember correctly, yeah, you can use the passive by itself. The passive by itself is booty. It gives you more magic damage on your abilities, but that's it. Now, Super Scorcher Breath, without Dragon Practice stacks. Okay, without Dragon Practice stacks, it's Moncast. Then you have a Chew. We have Mr. Sneeze. The Sneeze is gonna be in mid. It's alright. You have Flap Flap. Flap Flap is gonna be in pretty solid. It's free mobility. It's like Kane's Shadow Step, but not as effective. But I'll still put it here. I think it still has the same purpose. Then you have Mom. Mom is gonna be in mid tier because it doesn't really do that much. Not really that much. It's alright. Sona's Power Chord. Power Chord, can this be used without? No, you can't. You can't use Power Chord without it. And does that also mean you can't use the rest of her ability? No, you can. So Q will be in mid, it's auto target damage. W, actually we'll put Q in booty. We'll also put E in mid as well. So W and E will be booty, or it will be mid. And then we have Crescendo. Crescendo, on the other hand, is goated. It's not as good as Seraphine Ultimate, but it doesn't have to be. It's still pretty good. Okay, Soraka. Soraka's Salvation is going to be in booty. It gives you faster speed against low health enemies, but if you're not playing a healer like Soraka, it doesn't matter. Star Call is going to be in mid. It's a decent damaging ability that heals you and gives you, excuse me, gives you regeneration and movement speed. So it's not that bad. Astral Infusion I'm going to put in mid. I say that because without the free healing from Star Call, the buff that you get from Star Call, this gets really costly really quickly. So I don't think it's good to have on any other champion except Soraka. Equinox on the other hand, I'm putting in goated. It's an instant point and click, not really point and click, but it's basically a point and click ability. It's AoE silence and then a root afterwards. This thing is the biggest like Zed cuck. It screws over Katarina, it screws over like every assassin in the game. As soon as they engage, just put it down and they can't do anything. Wish on the other hand is busted. AoE full team heal. Can't go wrong with it. Okay, Swain, Ravenous Flock. Can this work outside? Yes, you can. Because it has the death thing. But without the E, without W and E, it's terrible. So, yeah. Q is a solid ability. It's a lot of damage, low cooldown, and yeah, it's a lot of damage at low cooldown. Good AoE. W is mid. It's okay. It's good for vision control. The slow and stuff. It can help assist allies if you're like ganking or whatever. It's not that bad either. So it's not too bad. Never Move is going to be in mid. Also not too bad if you can get an AoE root technically. So there's usage from it. And then Demonic Ascension. Demonic Ascension no longer relies on his passive. So technically speaking, you can put it here. I'm going to put it in goated because it's AoE damage, it's healing, and as long as you're in combat, you'll still be able to, or as long as you're damaging an enemy champion, it can last forever. And they changed Demon Flare to where now you can have it, what's it called? You can recast Demon Flare every so often. So it's a really good ability. Okay, then we have Silas. Petricite Burst is going to be in goated. It is AoE damage upon using abilities, and if you have a champion who can spam abilities, you get a lot out of it. It's basically Riven's Q. Where's Riven's Q? Or Riven's passive, but better in my opinion because it's AoE damage. And then you have Chain Lash. Chain Lash is going to be in... I'm gonna put it in Booty. It does do a lot of damage. I know it can do a lot of damage with the explosion. Or actually, if you have a follow-up, like a stun, then yeah, then the Chain Lash is guaranteed. So mid, I'll put it mid. It has a lot of AP. I think it's like 130% AP ratio or something. Kingslayer is goated. A lot of damage. Abscond and Abduct is also goated. And then we have Hijack. Hijack is busted. It doesn't matter what combination of ultimates on the enemy are on the enemy team, you get 5. So it's 5 ultimates at any time. If you like average them all together, then eventually it turns into a really good combo. So Indra, Transcendence can be used outside of her kit, and it gives AP and it does a healer or restores mana. Okay, never mind. I'm putting this in goated because it's doing any amount of damage. So if you give this to like Cassiopeia, then she just gets to max out splinters instantly. Dark Sphere without the context of the rest of her kit is kind of booty. To be honest, there are better damaging abilities out there. Force of Will is gonna be mid. Probably mid, there's still usage from it. And then Scatter the Weak is also a booty ability. Without the stun that you can attach to it and the range extension from a Dark Sphere, it doesn't do anything. Then you have Unleash Power is also mid. It still does a lot of damage even if you have only 3 orbs, but it's just not that great unless you have more orbs. Tom Kench, Acquired Taste, does nothing, right? Oh no, it's your Q and your auto attacks do bonus damage based on bonus health. So we'll put that in mid, I guess. If you built a lot of health, you can probably do a lot of damage, so we'll put that there. Tongue Lash, on the other hand, is going to be a pretty solid ability. It's a ranged harass tool that can slow, and it can also heal you, so there's benefit there. Abyssal Dive is also a mid ability. It's a good distance engage tool, but you definitely need setup of some kind, either a slow or a stun or something to that effect to actually like make it matter a lot. Thick Skin is gonna be pretty solid. You can get a huge shield from this, but it did get nerfed to where you do need to be fighting at least 2 people. Devourer, on the other hand, let's just assume you can still get the 3 stacks of Acquired Taste for this, in which case, oh, there's also the ally protection, so in which case I'll put this in goated. Good ability. Talia's Rock Surfing is a mid ability. There's application for it and it's good for macro and tempo, but it's overall a niche ability. Dread and Volley, on the other hand, I'm going to put in goated because it's actually really strong and it can be used outside of Talia's kit. Now, Seismic Shove is a booty ability because without the Unraveled Earth, it actually does no damage. It's just a directional knock somewhere, right? So you might as well just take a different CC ability at that point. Tiago, what does Monkcast mean? Search up Monkca, capital S in Google, and it'll give you the image. It's an emote. It's an emoji. Seismic or Unraveled Earth is going to be in goated. Ever since they made it so you stun targets if they dash through it, you can still use it without. You can use this and then like use Darius E or any other kind of pull ability. Like you can use Talia W, or no, Unraveled Earth is E. So you can use Talia E with some other like hook ability, let's say like Blitzcrank or something, and it will work. Can you check what Kiana W does? It's so much more than an attack speed buff and a dash. Wait. Okay. While holding an element, Kiana gains bonus attack speed and attack range, as well as bonus magic damage on her basic attacks and basic abilities. Yeah, but you can't use any of your basic abilities. You don't have Q. Like, I guess you get a decent amount of on-hit magic damage, but like... Wait. Hang on a second. Wait, you are right, because bonus attack speed, as long as you're holding an element, and you're never gonna lose the element, because you don't have the Q. So if you give this to, and it also applies on a build, you're right. Actually, you're right. Hold on a second. You are correct. You are 100% correct. There's still so much abusability with this ability. Hang on a second. Yeah, like, wait, yeah, you're right. That's a lot of bonus magic damage, a 45% AP ratio also. Wait, you are absolutely correct. Thank you. I underestimated that. I definitely underestimated that. That's a thank you for for urging me to check that again, because yeah, I actually completely underestimated that. Good call. All right, let's keep going. We have Weaver's Wall. Weaver's Wall is going to be in mid. It's okay. There's use cases for it, but not really. Then you have Blade's End. Blade's End is just attach 3 abilities or damaging abilities onto an enemy champion and they'll take bonus physical damage. It's a lot of physical damage, so we'll put it in pretty solid. Or I might even put it in Goated because it's easier to apply than on Talon. Noxian Diplomacy is going to be in probably pretty solid. It's a good damaging tool that can also do a lot if it's in point blank range. So. Also, if he kills the target with it, it reduces the cooldown and he can heal. So there's more usage out of that. Rake, the old Rake used to be a lot better. The new Rake, not so much. We're going to put Rake in mid. But then of course, Assassin's Path is broken. Put him busted here. Then we have Shadow Assault. Shadow Assault's going to be in, I think, probably pretty solid. It's good for stealth and damage, but I think outside of Talon's kit, it's not as impressive. Okay, here we have Bravado. Bravado is going to be in busted. It's cooldown reduction across your entire kit, or just casting abilities. Very good. Zealot's Touch is a awful ability. It is an awful ability without the help of Bravado, so we'll put it in Monk Cast. Then you have Bastion. Bastion, on the other hand, is busted because it can cause your ally to also do the same ability you're doing, assuming it's applicable. Dazzle's a good ability. I'll put it in pretty solid. And then we have Cosmic Radiance. Cosmic Radiance is going to be in busted. So Tarek is another champion with 3 busted abilities. Okay, Teemo Guerrilla Warfare is a booty ability, if not Monk Cast. I might actually put it in a Monk Cast because you can't do it. There's not much usability for it. Even on Teemo, there's not much usability for it. Blinding Dart, on the other hand, is going to be goated. It is a big middle finger to any auto attacker for 3 seconds. Can't go wrong with that. And then you have Move Quick, also a terrible ability, don't bother. Toxic Shot, on the other hand, is not bad. I'll put it in mid tier. Noxious Trap, however, is busted. It is so much damage in the late game, you have to respect it. Rush, Damnation. Damnation's gonna be in mid. It's not as powerful as, let's say, Senna. I think Senna's Absolution is still better. Then you got Death Sentence. Death Sentence is going to be in probably busted because you can either use it as a lockdown tool or as an engage tool. Then you got Dark Passage, which is also busted. I think a lot of usage can be done with it, or I'll put it in goated. I don't think it's like game breaking per se. You got Flay. Flay's also goated ability. And then you have the Box, which ironically I consider Box to be his least valuable ability. If it had crowd control on it, then maybe, but the slow, not that great. Okay, over here we have Tristana's Draw Bead. Draw Bead, I'm gonna actually put in goated because if you apply this to a Caitlyn, she gets like 850 attack range and does something crazy. Although she does need headshot, but still, you get the idea. Rapid Fire, I'll put in mid. It's just an attack speed buff. It's a good attack speed buff, and especially after they raise the attack speed cap to 3, it applies even more to her, but I think it's alright. Okay, I actually had to go somewhere, and I had to go somewhere in about 20 minutes, so I had to hurry up. Here we have Rocket Jump. Rocket Jump is going to be in goated. It's good because it has the reset mechanic attached to it, and it also has good range, so you gotta respect that. Explosive Charge, we'll put in mid. It's a decent damaging ability if you can stack it up, but it's not that influential. Buster Shot, same thing. It's alright. It can be a disengaged tool, but there are better ones out there. Here we have King's Tribute. King's Tribute is booty. It's not as bad as Carnivore, in my opinion, because it does scale, but I still don't think it's that relevant. Then you have Chop. Chop is a decent ability. It does damage. It does a lot of damage, has a short cooldown, and it increases your attack damage and it drains the enemy's attack damage. So it's one of the better ones out there. Frozen Domain is incredible. It does a lot more for other champions in my opinion than Trundle. And even on Trundle, it still makes him so threatening. Pillar of Ice is also a goated ability, or not a goated ability, I'll put it in solid. It's better than Anivia's wall because it comes with the knockup and slow, so you can use it for like Yasuo, or you can use it for just general coverage. What does the question mark tier mean? It just means these abilities could either be really good or really bad. The value fluctuates too much. Trundle Subjugation, on the other hand, is busted. It makes you almost impossible to 1v1. It's one of those abilities that, like, in a 1v1 scenario, you basically lose. The knockup, it does come with the knockup, More, but it's not as easy. You have to, like, literally be mashing the key on Yasuo to get the knockup. Tryndamere's Battle Fury. Battle Fury gives crit strike chance. Put it in pretty solid. Some champions could actually abuse it quite well. Bloodlust, I'm going to put in... I'll put it in... pretty solid. I say that because even though you can't generate Fury without the passive, so the healing is bad, you still do get a lot of attack damage. So actually no, without the healing, I'll put it in mid. Mocking Shot will put in mid as well. Reducing attack damage is actually a big deal on Tryndamere's. People forget that W is not just a slow if you're facing behind him or if your back is to him, it's also the attack damage reduction. Spinning Slash is going to be in mid, it's an okay dash ability, but Undying Rage is going to be in busted. Okay, Twisted Fate's Loaded Dice, and I'm going to put it in booty. Yes, more gold if you kill enemies, but you'd rather have an actual combat passive. Wildcards are going to put in probably mid. It is the longest range regular skill shot in the game. Like regular damaging poke tool in the game, but it's so slow that you need a point and click lockdown to actually like land it. Now Pega card on the other hand is going to be in busted, because giving any champion a point and click stun and infinite mana is very nice. Stack Deck is going to be booty, it's not that great. Destiny is busted. Busted tier, no complaints there. Okay, Deadly Venom. We're going to give Deadly Venom a goated rating, because if you give this to a mage who can apply this much more easily, like Cassiopeia or something, then they can definitely put it to good use. Ambush is going to be in goated tier. A lot of champions can use it, and I think they can abuse it quite well. We're going to have Venom Cask. I'm going to put in Monk Cask. I say that because without Deadly Venom, this thing is actually not that great. Well, the slow scales with AP, so maybe we can put it in booty, but it's still not that valuable. Spray and Pray we're going to put in pretty solid. It's a good damaging bonus for other champions besides Twitch, like other AD carries could use it. Imagine Jinx with Spray and Pray. So I think there's merit there. I might even put it in goated tier. Oh no, that's not Spray and Pray, that's Contaminate. What am I talking about? Okay. Contaminate is unusable without Deadly Venom, so you can't use it. But Spray and Pray, we're gonna put that here. Put it in goated tier. Oh my god, come on, I gotta hurry. I have to be somewhere in like 20 minutes, but I have to finish. Okay. Bridge Between. So okay, alright. Bridge Between, we're gonna put it in Monkcast, because you do have the attack speed for 2 basic attacks upon using an ability, but it's still terrible. Wild and Claw, just the base version, it's okay, it's mid, it's max health damage, so it's not that bad. Then you have Iron Mantle, is also not that bad. Then you have Blazing Stampede, which is a lot better because it's you know, your attacks stun enemies. And then Wingborne Storm is also not that bad. There's usability. Of course, without the empowerment, you don't get as much out of it, but still, there's usability to it. Echoing Flames is busted, because you give this to a friggin' like any other champion who can attack really quickly. You're like, you know, Fiora, imagine, just like forget Fiora passive, just get this, and then she just jumps around you and just like keeps poking the arrows. It's like, it's crazy. Corrosive Charge is booty. alright. I mean, actually, it's a little bit better than that. It's a slow. You can use it to poke. Alright. Purge is busted. Give any champion with some kind of proc-based reliance Purge, and there you go. You're all set. A 3-hit passive, basically. Disdain is a goated ability. It's a huge shield, and while the dash range is not that substantial, the knock-up over it is 1.5 seconds. It's one of the longest durations in the game for a regular ability, so it's really good. How is Twitch Q busted but Pike W is so low? Because Pike's Ghostwire Dive needs lethality to scale movement speed. To get the movement speed, you need lethality, I believe. And then it also doesn't come with a reset or attack speed bonus, because Twitch Ambush gives him attack speed and it gives him a reset if he gets a kill. Also, it's not so low, it's just Twitch Q is not in busted tier, it's in goated tier. They're just one tier different. Okay, Urgot's Fear Beyond Death is gonna be in goated tier as well. It's a guaranteed execute on anyone who is an Olaf or Tryndamere or Mundo. Vars' Living Vengeance. Living Vengeance is gonna be in pretty solid. There's usability because you can also gain it from minions. So, oh, he gets bonus 18 to AP. Wait, what? Wait, when did they add this? Whoa, wait, when did they do this? When did he get bonus attack damage and attack speed? Or an ability power? What? Okay, we're putting the goated. Alright, I'll go with that. Piercing Arrow is gonna be in pretty solid. It's a good poke tool. Without the... Actually, no, we're gonna put it higher. But I'm saying without the Blighted Quiver, it's not as strong. But I'll still put it there. Blighted Quiver, we're gonna do pretty solid as well. How bad is my voice giving out, by the way, guys? It's going down. Oh my god, my voice is actually dying. You can just hear it from like the start of the video to the end. I have to hurry. Blighted Quiver, we're gonna be putting in pretty solid as well. Hail of Arrows is gonna be in mid. It is Grievous Wounds and a poke tool. It's like Urgot's Q, kind of, same thing. Living Vengeance on the other, or Chain of Corruption on the other hand, is gonna be in goated tier. Really good. Then you have Vayne's Night Hunter. Night Hunter is booty. I would much rather have a different passive than moving faster towards enemy champions. But it's alright. Tumble, on the other hand, is going to be goated. Tumble's a good ability. Very good ability. Then you got Silver Bolts. Silver Bolts is going to be a pretty solid ability. It would be better than solid if it could apply based on ability cast as well. If it was ability cast too, then I would wait, is it ability cast? No, it's just Condemn. So yeah, if it was ability cast, then yeah, it'd be like the best ability in the game. But apart from that... Guys, I've done face reveals before. I have done face reveals in the past. I don't know why this is such a recurring thing. But anyways, Condemn is gonna be in... Excuse me. We'll put Condemn in mid. It's not as good as Poppy's Heroic Charge, in my opinion. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's gonna be a meme. Final Hour is gonna be goated because, according to Silas, your Q will also trigger the stealth. So we'll put Final Hour there. It's a lot of there's a lot of value you can get out of it, but it's mostly on AD champions exclusively. We got Vhagar, Primordial or Phenomenal Evil is gonna be in busted. Give this to a champion who can actually spam abilities like Cassiopeia. There you go. Then you got Baleful Strike. Baleful Strike is going to be in mid. It's a decent ability, but without the huge AP that Vhagar gets, not that much. Then you have Dark Matter, same thing. Without the passive, I actually think is booty because it doesn't do that much damage by itself. Event Horizon, on the other hand, is going to be in goated tier for obvious reasons. Then you have Primordial Burst. Primordial Burst is going to be in pretty solid. Without the insane amount of AP that Vhagar gets, this actually is not that strong. There are better executes out there. Vel'Koz is tectonic or organic deconstruction. Organic deconstruction is going to be in busted. If you had point and click abilities or champions who can do this without, with much more consistently, then it's a really broken. It's basically Vayne's W, but for it's Vayne's W, but more, I guess, forgiving. Then you have Plasma Fission. Plasma Fission is a pretty solid poke tool. It can do a lot and it can cover a lot of different angles. Very nice to have. Then you got Void Rift. Void Rift is kind of booty, not gonna lie, without the passive. Without organic deconstruction, it kind of sucks. Same goes for tectonic disruption. It is a CC tool, but it's still not that great in my opinion. I'll put it in mid tier. And the Lifeform Disintegration Ray without the passive is also kind of a bad ability. Doesn't do that much. Vex, her Doom and Gloom is gonna be here for the same reason as Annie. And unfortunately though, the rest of her abilities are not actually that great. So we're going to put Mistral Bolt here, we're going to put Personal Space here, we're going to put Looming Darkness here, and we're going to put Shadow Surge. Actually, Shadow Surge we will put a little bit higher, we'll put it in goated tier for like AP assassins. Vars Blast Shield is going to be in mid. It's not as good as Shen's Key Barrier. Shen's Key Barrier is up there, but I don't think Vars Blast Shield is that great because you do need to have Redenting Blows for more applications. Ball Breaker, on the other hand, is going to be goated. It is a free target dash that can be used to either run, engage, travel, things of that nature. Redenting Blows is worse than Vayne's Silver Bolts, or not really, you get the attack speed from it, so I'll put it there. Excessive Force is underrated in my opinion. If it causes a critical strike, the critical strike applies to enemies behind it as well. So you can also attach this to a ranged champion for like an AoE Tiamat passive type deal, or like yeah, something like that. So I think we'll do that. Now of course Assault and Battery, or I think it's called Cease and Desist now. They wanted to make it not criminal. Point and click. It's Nautilus's depth charge, but for you yourself are the engaged basically. Diego, Sovereign's Domination is busted. You become the other champions. Then you got Blade of the Ruined King. I'm gonna put in goated because you get on hit max health or current health damage rather. Excuse me. And then you also can heal off of the 2-hit thing that you do. So it's a good ability. Then you get Spectral Maw. Spectral Maw is going to be in pretty solid, I think. And then Harrowed Path is going to be in pretty solid as well. People don't like the fact that it shows, like, it kind of reveals your location, but you can also use that as a mind game. Alright, hang on. Oh, my throat. I'm dying. Almost there. We're almost there. 3 hours. 3 hours. Okay. Then we have Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker is going to be in mid. Without the passive, you can't get a free cast of it. So I guess it's just to execute at that point. Victor. NA. U without the empowerment is kind of... It's okay. It's actually not that bad. W is also... Well, W doesn't have an empowerment. But yeah, so W will be also... It's okay. And then Death Ray without the empowerment is also okay. Death Ray with the empowerment would be in pretty solid, but unfortunately no dice. But you have the Arcane Storm or Chaos Storm, whichever term you prefer. We're going to put that in pretty solid. It actually does a lot of damage. And the expansion thing's really cool too. Vladimir, his Crimson Pact is... It's okay. You get more HP based on your AP, and you get more AP based on your HP. The ratio that actually matters is the AP into HP. It can make you a little bit bulkier, like if you give this to like an AP Bruiser, they can get tankier, but apart from that, it's not too impressive. Transfusion, however, I will put it in pretty solid because it's free healing, essentially. Sanguine Pool, I'll put in pretty solid. Normally on target ability effects like Playful Trickster and whatnot are crazy good, but Sanguine Pool you can't really do a whole lot. It also drains your HP. If you don't have a champion who can sustain and they have Sanguine Pool, you actually take a lot of damage using the ability. Then you have Tides of Blood. Excuse me. Same thing. This thing does a ton of damage, but if you don't have a way to heal, you actually hurt yourself a lot using it. Then you have Hemoplague. Hemoplague is actually a good ability. We'll put it in pretty solid. Okay, we have Volibear. Volibear's Relentless Storm is a good ability. It gives you attack speed based on your ability power and a base amount, and then you also do chain lightning damage based on abilities. So if you're playing an AP champion or an AP marksman like Kaisa or something, then they can actually use it quite well. Thundering Smash is gonna be, I think, in pretty solid. It gives a ton of movement speed when running towards an enemy champion, and then it can also, you can recast it if it gets interrupted by crowd control. So there's a lot of benefit to this attack. Frenzied Maul is also going to be in pretty solid, I would say. It does a lot of damage, it can heal you, and has a short cooldown. Then you have Sky Splitter. Sky Splitter is a huge ability if you land it. It's a huge amount of magic health damage, or a huge amount of percent health magic damage, as well as big shield for Volibear. So it's a good tool. It's also good for just poke, like long range poke. Then you have Stormbringer. Stormbringer is going to be, I'll say, mid. I'm gonna say mid. I think, yeah. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I need a moment. I'm gonna use the restroom. Okay, I have 10 minutes and then I gotta hurry. So let's hurry up. Okay, we're almost at 10 minutes to get through this last batch. Okay, we have Eternal Hunger. Eternal Hunger is going to be in, I think, mid. The healing and on-hit damage is not too bad. It gives you lane sustain, it gives you just a little bit more endurance, not too bad. But also the Beast, I'm going to put in probably pretty solid. A lot of healing, a lot of magic damage, and you can also use it to gap close and latch on to anyone who tries to flash away. You have Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt, after the changes they did post Arcane, made this a really powerful ability. It can be very valuable for a lot of champions. Then you have Primal Howl, is also a very powerful ability. This thing is damage reduction and an AoE fear, which is super beneficial for many champions. And then Infinite Duress, I'm going to also put in Goated. It's a unstoppable dash, which means you can use it to bypass certain CC or ignore it altogether, and then you can of course latch onto someone, do damage, suppress them, and heal them. Okay, Wukong's Stone Skin, it's mid. It gives a lot of armor, believe it or not, like more than people expect it to, and a lot of health regeneration, but you don't usually see it too much on some champions, but I think you could still make use of it. Crushing Blow is going to be in solid because it's armor reduction, it's an extended range attack, and you can also reduce the cooldown with attacks. Is Aatrox W the worst ability in the game? It should be. No, but it is one of the worst abilities. Warrior Trickster is going to be in Busted because your clone can also use the same auto attacks and stuff that you do. You give it to a ranged champion like Vayne, there you go. Nimbus Strike is a good ability. It's a dash, it scales off AP, so you can actually give this to an AP champion and they can do more damage with it, but that's about it. Cyclone's going to be in Goated. It's a lot of damage, max health damage, you can use it twice, and you also get speed from it, so it's a good one. Yeah, am I still going, Vincent? Yes, I am. I'm almost done though. I'm dying. My voice is so dead right now. Clean Cuts from Xayah is gonna be in mid. It basically makes your next basic attack penetrate to do damage to enemies behind it. So it's not unusable, but without Feather Call or Blade Caller, it is a lot worse. Same with Double Daggers, it's not that great without Blade Caller. Deadly Plumage is alright, it gives you basically 20% more damage on your autos and you get movement speed when attacking along with attack speed, so I might actually put it here. But again, without Blade Caller, you can't really do anything. Now speaking of Blade Caller, you can't use the ability without any of her other abilities, so there that is. Feather Storm on the other hand is a good ability even if you can't recall because it does give you a target ability. Almost there, come on, come on, come on. I might actually have to wrap up the rest of the tier list off stream because I do have to leave in like 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes I have to go. So we're not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to just finish it on my own time. But anyways, we have Mana Surge on Xerath. Mana Surge is booty. There are better Mana Sustain passes out there, like Brand. Then we have Arcana Pulse. Arcana Pulse is going to be a pretty solid ability. It has a ton of range, a decently generous area coverage, so it does a lot there. And then, yeah, so it's a good ability. Eye of Destruction is also a good ability. It's got a lot of range, it's easy to cover, it does damage, and it slows enemies. Pretty good. He's a good Pokemon for a reason. Shocking Orb I'm gonna put in mid. You might as well just get Ari Charm. Ari Charm is better, Morgana Q is better, like other ones are just better than Zerathi. And then last but not least, Rite of the Arcane. Rite of the Arcane is going to be goated. This thing scares people. It does a lot of damage, you just have to land skill shots, but if you can land skill shots, this thing's a great ability. One more champion, and then I'll do this off stream. Oh my goodness. Determination. Determination is going to be probably pretty solid because if you give this to a ranged champion, then they can actually abuse it a lot more. It's free healing, essentially. You got 3-point strike or 3-talent strike. 3-talent strike is going to be in goated tier because you get more damage on your autos, cooldown reduction on the rest of your abilities, including 3-talent strike, I believe, and then you get the third hit as a knockup. It's really good. Wind Becomes Lightning is going to be in mid tier. It's a damaging ability. That's about it. It's like Fury of the North or whatever this one is. They're the same thing. Audacious Charge is a decent dash tool. It comes with an attack speed buff, making it a little bit better than other ones like Wukong E because it does more than just dash. In which case, yeah, we'll give it the attack speed buff, but it's still kind of in the same tier. I don't really think it deserves to be in gold. And then lastly, you have Crescent Strike. Crescent Strike, or is it still Crescent Strike? Crescent Guard, excuse me. Crescent Guard is an AoE slash that makes you invincible to attacks outside of the circle, and you can then become a very strong frontliner with this attack. So we'll put that there. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause. I'll go finish the last abilities, and then oh wait, Wukong also does get attack speed. You're right, I forgot. Wukong does get attack speed. That's a good point. I play Wukong too. How did I forget that? I thought the attack speed came from something else, but yeah, they both give attack speed essentially. Okay, I gotta go, guys. We were so close to the end. I'm sorry, but I really have to go. Anyway, I mean, the people watching the video, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about, but essentially I have a karate class. It's like 6:55. I have karate class at 7:15, so I have to go like right now. I'll be back. Everyone on stream, thank you for attending the stream. It was a lot of fun. I'm dying right now. My voice is killing me, but just wait for the video. The video will come out probably in like a week or two. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye.